I fixed it. It's fine. Oh, except I didn't. But it's still fine. It's still... Hello? No, not that. Not that. The game. I keep doing the wrong one. So we're gonna have it like normal. I'm gonna go on top of it, but I'm gonna be a circle, so it's gonna be fine. Ta-da! We were rewatching some of the clips from when I played Bloodborne this weekend, and when I play that game, if I'm fighting a boss, I'm always like, I'm out of frame of the circle because I was like really forward in my seat. It's pretty funny. I don't know why I did that. Yeah, so I was testing the game yesterday, so I'll have to be on the right save thing here. There we go. End of Act 3. We finished Act 3 last time. I'm not happy about where we ended up. I'm a little bit worried about our character. Sorry about my loud water bottle. Every water bottle I buy, it seems to be extremely loud in some way. Either the lid is loud or when I drink it is loud. Jane says, forgive me if I've asked this before, but if you've ever been interested in The Legend of Zelda, the game Link's Awakening was made when the staff was really into Twin Peaks, and it's got a dose of that kind of spirit in the game. Really? That's incredible. You're talking like the OG, not the remake, right? Because you recently played that. I think I caught a little bit of that, of the remake. That's really cool. You know, I can play some of those older games because Zenny has the RetroTink 5X, so we can play the old consoles and put scan lines on, and it looks really cool. So that is a possibility to stream or just to play on a big TV. That's really cool. I didn't know that, but I love that. I love Twin Peaks. Oh, I meant to show. Oh well, we'll do it on break, I guess. Hi, Sharon. I see you. Thank you, friend. There's 3 versions of it. The original, Link's Awakening DX, Game Boy Color, and a Switch version. Awesome. Okay. Ooh, we get to dial a number. So it's not tomorrow, but tomorrow is Twin Peaks Day. Yeah. So that's Twin Peaks. I love it so much. In a second, once I catch up, I will give everyone some pie or coffee or something. Train says, my folks had this kind of telephone. I remember the feel of that plastic so specifically. It was manila colored. Whoa. My grandma and my aunt had a preschool when I was growing up, and we had a really old phone situation. Like, you know, just it had been the phone for the house or whatever. But there was like a manila colored one and a dark brown colored one. So, pretty cool. What are we feeling like? You want some pie or donuts? Maybe I'm feeling like I would like some pie. So I'm going to give everyone some pie. It's also a good way to check if everything's working, which it doesn't seem to be. That's so sad. I'm going to reload overlays. Sometimes that works. And we'll try it again. Please. I know. Doesn't pie sound so good? I don't know why it's not working. Oh, is it because it's... Well, I wish y'all could see it because it's just not seeming to work for some reason. What? It's weird because reloading the overlays last time worked real quick. So we only have a couple of streams left for Twin Peaks month. I want to make sure everything's working. Please? Oh, you know why? Probably because I had to change some stuff. Maybe it got unlinked or something. Okay. All right. It seems to be there. Oh, yeah. Actually, I always wanted to try this like meat pie. I believe they're popular in the UK. They look delicious. Yeah, like a. Yeah, I don't know. That's not something we really do here. I don't know if it's. Well, you're on the East Coast, so you would know more than I would. But I was like, maybe like in New England, they have more of them over there. I bet you could go to any like English pub or Irish pub in the US and like find some. I bet you could find one around like St. Patrick's Day. That's a whole other thing. All right, I'm going to try it one more time and then I'm not going to bother anymore. We'll just try our best. One more. I'm sad. That's okay. It's okay. Maybe it will decide to work later. Anyway, let's play the game, shall we? All right, 2, 7, 0, 3, 0, 1. Oh yeah, chicken pot pie. I've had chicken pot pie before. Jamaican sort of pie involving beef. Ooh. Oh no! Okay, I think I just have to do the last one. So I was like, where did I leave off? There's no screen. That's funny. Oh. I didn't pick up the phone. I didn't pick it up. We get a second chance. Okay. 3, 0, 1, 5, 7, 9, 7. Hello?
Public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
Bureau of Secret Tourism. We have a pamphlet from there. Now what?
For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial, press 9. For more information about our organization, press 3. If you don't remember dialing this number at all, press 5.
Whoa.
To hear these options again, press 0.
I'm gonna press 3.
The Bureau of Secret Tourism is supported by a generous population of river creatures who
Hang on.
fix up and grill as necessary. I am environmentally minded, and I believe all creatures are equally deserving of support in their transition to the next world. So I usually try to sing
There we
a
go.
little elegy like, small water creature, crab or frog. Now you know that sleep is all around us, like a muggy, tranquil fog.
Are we dreaming?
Something like that. It's easier to come up with these songs when I'm hungry in a sort of transcendental fasting state, but I've actually just had breakfast.
It's very Buddhist of you.
A debt
I
of
feel like, you know.
gratitude is also owed to the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces, who unselfishly and unknowingly donates this here telephone line for the purpose of this here informational.
It's the one we've been playing,
You can always
that weird
find
one
the latest secret tourism literature
where
in
we
any of our
have to
unmarked
make a
kiosks
delivery.
or any other
Also,
home
welcome
place
in,
it
friend.
happens to lay.
Yeah.
That's
This is
all
a
I
little
have to say
interlude
about
before
that.
Act 4.
Do me a favor. You can press 0 now to go back to the main menu.
I wrote it down.
You can... Welcome home. For historical sites along the Echo River, press 1. For a guide to the
Echo
river's
River.
flora and fauna, press 2. For help identifying an unfamiliar sound, press 3. If you're holding a snake right now,
If you're holding a snake right now?
to hear these options again, press 0. For historical sites along the Echo River,
2?
for different types of water, press 1. For the language of bats, press 2. For insect interactions, press 3.
3.
If
I
you
love
stop
bugs.
your boat somewhere cool, you can find yourself
M, thank you for the sub.
or cover your face.
Great news, we got all of our emotes now. So the last one got out of jail. So we have all of them.
In fact,
Great.
they've already forgotten you. They're back to chasing each other, breeding, competing.
Yay,
over
enjoy all those
resources.
emotes.
Their minds are so
I appreciate you.
shallow that while you've been standing there with your hands raised to your face, they've begun to think of you as part of the landscape. A funny-looking rock.
I
This
am a
is what
funny
they
looking
sound
rock.
like.
Is there gonna be something weird? It's kind of a weird bug sound. What's everyone's favorite bug? I love beetles. I would love to have like some display bugs. You know what I found out recently? Butterflies only live 1 to 2 days. I don't like that. Can I hang up? Oh, hello? Alright, I'm gonna call again. Yeah, in real life. Cool, ready to go? Let's just take a minute. Who are Bob and Emily? I know Emily is you, Zaminator. But I don't know who Bob is. I don't remember. I'm gonna call this number again. And I'm gonna put in that extension that he told me to do.
The number you have dialed is not real.
Let's do a long one. Okay. 270-301-5797. Because we can put in an extension in. We put in 1928. See what happens. I'm wearing a wool blazer with shoulder pads in it, and my grandma's lapel pin.
There along the Echo, a guide to the Echo River for drifters and pilgrims.
That's me.
This guide is a public service provided by the Bureau of Secret Tourism.
Tell me my options.
For a menu of our resources, press 1. If you have an extension to dial,
I do.
press 9.
9.
Now is the time to dial an extension.
I thought he was gonna say now is the time to die. 1928.
I just want to listen to the wind blow. Or even better, television static. Can you tune your TV to a a dead station and let the static play into the phone. When you're finished, press the 0 button. Thanks.
How weird. I can't. I don't have any TV. Cool, ready to go? Yeah, let's go. Okay. Let's play Act 4. What a strange game. Oh yeah! We're going on a ferry. That's too loud. It was so quiet before. Sorry. Whoa, that was aggressive. Yeah, we're on a big ferry with a freaking mammoth. As you do. I'm so sorry. It was so quiet before. I was like, they definitely can't hear it. That was too much. 5.4, context backlash. General wear on the gestural gear mounting apparatus may result in undesirable play between teeth in the context and history state machine gears, causing stuttering, slippage, resetting, skipping. Again, I guess it could be slippage. If left unresolved, gear slap can gradually throw limbs out of alignment, blend motions, and decontextualize gestures. General troubleshooting. Technicians of sufficient talent and experience may skip this section. That's not me. General troubleshooting techniques include hammering with something plastic until the tone becomes apparent, chiseling out a small hole and feeling for changes in resonance, or listening until the hue clears up. Why couldn't I say that word? Okay. That'll do, book. Must be missing a page or something. My savior, our friend here is in a bad way. Any insight? I try to stay clear of high voltage these days. I don't at all blame you, especially down here. On the water, I mean. Sure, it's dangerous, but this is where she lives. What brings you down to the Echo tonight? I always end up here eventually. River's like that. It always has been. I picked you up at the Bureau tonight. Never seen you that far upriver before. I hope that doesn't mean you've been traveling on the Zero. Yeah, have you been there, the Zero? Oh no, not me. This old river rat steers clear of the weird highways. I've been traveling this river for more than half my life, more or less, alone. I think I've seen it change quite a bit in all those years, but I can't say for sure. The water has a peculiar way of making a person forgetful. Some nights I remember a place, but it's full of strange new people, and some nights I meet an old friend on an unfamiliar shore. I wonder which kind of night this is. Giant mammoth. Scene 1. The mucky mammoth. Oh look, it's me, but spelled bad. Now is that... How's that cold river spray treating you? I thought I saw you squinting. It's hard water, you know, hard on the eyes. It still irritates mine a little, and I'm piloting a tugboat through it 6 nights a week. Don't be too shy to close them in public. Your eyes, I mean. People just assume you're thoughtful. Oh. Good point. You need tea? So, Agrocybe agarita, definitely. Peppermint, dried spring agaricus, milk thistle, and dried reishi. What are all those for? Eye strain. Dried spring agaricus masks the taste of the rest of it. Dried reishi in particular has an eccentric flavor profile. It's mushroom based. I'm a big believer in the fungal pharmacy. Is that your dog? Yeah, that's Valkyrie. I call her Val. She's a rescue. Isn't she dignified? I've always thought so. Very dignified. I hope you enjoy the trip on our little mammoth. Take advantage of all the amenities. Fresh air, cozy bunks, hot tea, the video room. There are some pretty interesting tapes down there, actually. Unusual, I mean. Weird. Watch out that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. Should I move these captions? Should I move them up here? Should I move them up here? I need to speak more clearly. I'll move them up here for now. Watch that VCR doesn't take your hand off, though. It's untrustworthy. Okay. Oh. What's wrong with the VCR? I could take a look. Oh, please do. I don't know anything about electronics. Maybe try a few different tapes. You'll get the picture. Hey, do me a favor. Go ask Will how the repairs are going and if he needs anything. We're coming up on the next stop here, just refueling and picking up a few things. I could grab a bolt or some wire or something, whatever he needs. Well, eyes on the road. Let's talk to Will. I like being on boats. I don't usually get seasick. We went on a school trip, whale watching, in high school, and I loved it. There were a lot of people that got sick, but not me. And we saw whales mating. It was interesting. Singing quietly. For we on mold and whiskey fed. Oh. Wet gears. Wet gears? Probably. Who knows? First thing I tried anyway. Down here by this little blue box, I took all the gears out and dried each one by hand, and then I loaded them back in again. That took care of the grinding sound, but her trunk keeps doing that sparking, clanking, weeping thing. To be honest with you, I'm not really qualified for this work. Kate's a friend. You know how it is, don't you? Kate was asking if you needed anything when we stop. Hell, I don't know. Scratch ticket? I think she meant like parts or... I wouldn't know it if I did. What's your story, Will? Story? Well, I like to listen to him. I like to tell him. But I don't have one of my own. Okay, I don't love the captions up there. Why can't I make up my mind when I stream about where things should go? I made an overlay, but I don't know how I feel about it. I also don't have a permanent address or a pickup truck or any change of clothes. I washed my laundry in the river, and in that moment, I'm truly free. I don't even have any shoes. Hey, I should tell you where I left my shoes. Did you know I'm a classically trained organist? It's true. Look at these long fingers and pedal gripping toes. It doesn't matter. A minor in French literature earned me a position teaching Arto to Zola at the university. Well, some shitty governor cut state funding for our department, and I was demoted to mopping floors, running wiring through walls or in dangerous places. I even operated the soundboard at the student theater. I feel you. It's because games aren't always the same. Yep. Yeah. But the overlay I made, I feel like I made the screen, like the game part of it, too small. Like, I don't know if people would be able to see. Maybe we'll try it next time. I left my shoes there at the university. It was a protest. Walk without shoes for something important or tragic. I ended up by the shore, and soon I was drifting along the Echo. It ran for a while above ground then. It doesn't anymore, but I prefer subterranean waters anyway. Kate brings me along, and I record what I see and hear. I try to help with maintenance. I drop off the mail and pick up the trash. On occasion, I take the helm. Anyway, that's all I try to remember anymore. I listen to the river stories, and my own stories get fainter and fainter. Well, I'll just keep drying gears, I guess. Ezra runs up to Shannon. Whoa, slow down. It's slippery up on deck. Do you have batteries? Yeah, of course. What for? Johnny said I could use his tape recorder, but it needs a battery. Oh, fun. Well, here's 4 different kinds. Surely one of these should fit. Thank you. Oh, there's Blue. Oh, now we're Ezra. Got your batteries, small man. Go get you some tape. Alright, well, fine. I will. Blue. Hello, Blue. Whoa. This is cool. Should we go over here? Yeah, musicians. A cat. Where is it? Up there? Really? You were entranced. You don't remember this? It's okay. We've all seen a lot of concerts. Cyrano opened. His tape machine was broken or something. It got really cosmic. Right, at the flower shop. I remember that show. Sorry, Clara. Well, you have a second chance to hear it tonight. That was fast. Got the batteries? Let's see. Perfect, this one will do. So you hit this button here to record. Hold it right here so you don't cover the microphone with your hand. I bet you'll find a lot of good sounds just around the tugboat. There's plenty of tape in there, so don't be stingy with it. Just record anything that catches your ear. It really changes the way you listen. For the better, I mean. Are you playing a concert tonight? I could record that. Yeah, Clara here came all the way from Lithuania just to do this Echo River gig. It's a tour. Tomorrow I'll be in Nashville, and then Atlanta, and then over to the coast. Brutal. Well, we're lucky she's making a stop. Johnny and I saw her play once, and I remember loving it. And Johnny was moved. Speaking of Cyrano, it's his night at the rum colony. Kate said she usually stops off there. Well, that's ideal. I'm supposed to meet a lady there to look at some old engine parts about 3 hours ago. 3 hours goes fast at the rum colony, ma'am. I bet she's still there. So interesting how they talk to each other. He talks to her like... She talks to him like they're old friends or like romantically involved, right? And he talks to her like she's of a higher station than him. Like he works for her. It's interesting. I hope we don't stop there too long. My concert is soon. I don't want to keep them waiting. Nah, it's river time. Nobody expects you to be punctual. Hey, why don't you give that tape recorder a try? See if that cat over there has anything he wants to say. I often use found sounds in my music. If you find some interesting sounds tonight, you can help me out. Let's record the cat. Abbers! Hang on. Hello! I brought my raid thing back. Hi, friends! Let's get a shout out for Abbers. So good to see you, friend. Welcome in. Welcome in with Birdo. I love those emotes. Yeah, I saw you were playing last campfire. How was it? Yeah, welcome. My name's Kate. I'm a fat, queer, death-positive variety streamer. I stream Mondays and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Pacific, and then sometimes I do other extra ones with pals or on my own. Right now, we're on Act 4 of Kentucky Route Zero. It's so weird and so cool, and I'm really enjoying it so far. We're on a boat right now. Ooh, adorable and amazing. Highly recommend if you're into emotional puzzle games. Okay. Yeah, I think it's been on my list for a while. I will definitely have to. So good to see you, friend. Thank you for bringing your community and trusting me. If you came in with the raid, you just watched the stream. Feel free to take care of yourself. Go get a snack. Go take your meds, stretch, do what you gotta do. Leave a lurk, whatever you gotta do, friends. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for coming. We're about to record a cat, so as you do. And I'm gonna try to use my alerts again. Let's have maybe the donuts will work. Let's try. Here, yeah. Oh, the donuts are working. Donuts for everyone.
Policeman's dream. Yep. Lucy sets it up for us every night.
We're doing Twin Peaks month, so all of this is clips from Twin Peaks. So enjoy some donuts. On me. This whole month, all the streams are making me hungry though, because we've got pie and donuts.
We need donuts.
After this, I really need to get into Twin Peaks again. Yes, I agree, because it's my favorite show. Also, tomorrow would be a really great day, and I'll tell you why in a sec.
Give me a donut.
So tomorrow is Twin Peaks Day. And I'm going to play the clip again because we have new friends and I want to show you. So tomorrow, February 24th, is Twin Peaks Day, and this is why. Yeah, that's why tomorrow is Twin Peaks Day, because it's the day that Agent Dale Cooper arrives in the town of Twin Peaks. Also, if you'd like to know what kind of trees they are, they're Douglas firs. They're everywhere up here. Anyway. I did train. I did. And I have read one of the lore books and I have the other one. Yeah, so there was the 2 seasons of the show. Also, if y'all don't know what Twin Peaks is, here we go. Oh. Maybe if I could actually type, that would be... There we go. If you don't know what Twin Peaks is, there you go. But yeah, so it was the show that aired for 2 seasons, and then there was a movie called Fire Walk with Me, which I really liked, but it was really sad. And then it was sort of a prequel, but it helps to have the context of the show when you're watching it. You need all that lore. And then they did the return in 2017. So, yeah, I have seen all of those. Yeah, but definitely if you want to check that out, definitely watch the first 2 seasons first, because there's a lot of stuff they'll talk about and you're like, I have no idea what that is, but you will if you watch the show first. So let's record a cat. Oh no. Okay, he used to only have the electric skeleton arm. He used to only have the leg, and now he has an arm. I don't like it. Oh, you know what? Abbers. I forgot to charge the link. I'm gonna just get the new link real quick and just put it in chat. Yes, if you would like to join our Discord, we have fun in there. We have been doing weekly watch parties of Twin Peaks this whole month. But we're only on episode 3. So there's still time to catch up. Oh, thanks for the lurk, friend. Oh yeah, you made candles today. That's pretty exciting. So there's the actual up-to-date link to the Discord. Sometimes we do book club in there. I've got a place for death positive stuff. I've got a place for fat activism stuff that I haven't built out yet. But lots of stuff in there. D&D. So many things. All right. Yeah, Conway now is missing 2 limbs. And has an he has like a... I'm concerned. Okay. You know, it's the strangest thing. I can't remember why I came up here. Fresh air? Maybe. It's homey in that cabin, though, and warm. It's just that thing about... What was it? when you walk through a door? What about it? When you go into the kitchen for something, and as soon as you pass from one room into another, you forget what you wanted. You have to walk back out just to remember, like you left a part of your brain behind. Hey, I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. Hi, Javi. Welcome in. How is the moving stuff going? Shout out to Javi. Good friend. Great. Yeah, just amazing person, but also will be coming back to streaming soon, which is very exciting after you move. I also forgot to say, because we were in the middle of a clip, that Lyrica came in, and Lyrica is also an amazing friend and streamer. If you don't follow these folks, you absolutely should. And Abbers. And you know what, while I'm at it, shout out to... The thing is, when your friends lurk, is the time to like give them a shout out. Me? Stream? Never. Lies. Lies. It's the Emanator. And so many great friends and streamers in here tonight. Shout out to Train as well, who just beat Sonic Mania yesterday. I wonder if I could follow that brain crumb trail all the way back to the room I was born in. That would be wild. Conway cranes his neck over the railing. You were driving for hours. Get any sleep? Just resting my eyes for a minute. Every little bit helps, right? Thanks for remembering it's going slowly. I move on the first, but the majority of my stuff is already in a pod on its way there. Isn't that so wild? Like, when all of your stuff is all packed up, so you think like, oh, I want to do this. Oh, I can't. It's in boxes. It's like this weird like limbo space, but that's exciting. It's coming up. And then you can just get settled and get back to it. Oh. It's stressful but exciting. I hope it goes really smoothly. Yeah, of course, Train. Does look cold, doesn't it? Oh, heck yeah. Thank you for gifting that sub to Super Upscaler Boy. Heck yeah. Thanks, Javi. You're so sweet. What the heck? So kind. Yeah, better keep that kid away from the edge. A person could easily fall in. He's been exploring. Oh, I'll have to ask Soups what heart he wants. Because if you sub to my channel, you get one of these hearts. I'll make you one. Here, I'll show you close up. Ta-da! Ta-da! So I'll make Soups one. Alright. Oh, Javi. What the heck? Of course. What color do you want? We have all these colors. All the colors of the rainbow, plus white and black. Let me know. Thank you so much. So sweet. Enjoy all my emotes. We have like 5 now? 6? 6 emotes now. So enjoy those. Thank you, friend. Okay, yeah. Kid has been exploring. He seems to keep himself entertained. It's good for him. It's important to know how to be alone. What's up, huh? You look like there's something you want to ask. Fine, you can ask it. One question. Do you really have to go work at Hard Times? Didn't seem so bad, did it? Yeah, it did. Oh, thank you. Purple and what other color? Purple and 2 colors. Let me know. I'm so glad. Oh, no, no, no. No, thanks. Oh, no, 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 no. I bought it. I accidentally banned my bot instead. What a fool I am. Ban that person. Get out of here. I don't want to ban my bot. Let me make sure that that didn't happen again. Maybe I'll do a shout out. Okay, purple and black, you got it. Super. I'll just do a shout out, make sure it works. Okay, good. I don't know. Oh, but I just messed up a bunch of stuff on my stream. Whatever. I'll fix it later. Okay. Yeah, it did seem bad. It's a way to live. I mean, rent a bed, eat at a cafeteria. Not like I have a choice. I think you do have a choice. I've got to repay my debt. Hell, I should be grateful for the opportunity. If you want to die with any dignity, you've got to settle up. That's why it's such a damn shame when people go sudden. Yeah, rip my stream. Alright, I'm gonna make a note that hobby purple and black. I'll have that made by next stream. We're on the river. I'm sure I talk too much. Everyone on this river does. The problem is that we listen twice as much as that. We're only telling you half of the stories we hear. Kate told me that I ought to have been a photographer. She said, "You have an uncanny way of having been in the place at the time the thing happened there, and that's the hardest part of taking a photograph anyway." Nice of her to say, but it isn't true. Though I know just about every story on this river, most of them I picked up second, third, or fourth hand, and so on. Listening, see? So, what happened? Did I... Okay, if I do... Okay, let's see if my other... I just tried to mod my bot again. Okay. Okay, good. Now I think the links should work. I fixed it. Okay. Now I know what you're going to ask, so I'm going to answer it. Yes, I'm sure they're all true. I personally believe a story gets more true as it's tossed around from brain to brain, and the whole community brings their insight to bear on the brittle facts of experience. There are a few Echo River stories I witnessed directly. I saw that big owl migration pass through. You might have heard about that. I was there when the old train station flooded. I saw the ghost of Stephen Bishop brew up a batch of white lightning on a raft. Or, anyway, I talked to a few sailors who recently crossed paths with him. And I suspect sampled his wares. One night, when I was working on the Mucky Mammoth, we picked up a gaggle of passengers headed down to a mail drop by the silo of Late Reflections. The places in this game are so strange, and I love it. I knew a couple of them in passing, a pair of traveling musicians who I often encountered on the river. The others were strangers to me at the time, a young woman, a small boy, and an old man whose name I didn't catch. Oh, and a smelly old dog named Blue. We docked at a gas station so the Mammoth could refuel. Ezra stayed on the tugboat and looked around the map room. Or Ezra followed Junebug and Johnny into the gas station. What should we do? I feel like maybe he'd stay? He likes to explore when people... Alright, scene 2. Thank y'all for being here and for the love. It's very nice. I appreciate you. Just chilling. Oh, look at this other dog. Yeah, let's look out. What do we see? Ezra watches the lake drift by. He sees 3 small boats tethered together with black rope, a floating gas station, a small island covered with turtles, a small island covered with turtles. Turtles? What a relief. Thanks for taking the wheel. Our secret, okay? How do you know which way to turn? I just keep my eyes open. That's the most important part. Speaking of which. Oh, hey, there's the gas station. I was hoping we'd cross paths soon. It just kind of drifts around. You never know where you'll meet it. Oh, yay. I love all of you. I love you back. Thank you. Huh. As you can see by this dial right here, our fuel situation is pretty desperate. I have a bad habit of letting that needle spend a lot of time in the red zone. We should only be docked at the gas station for a few minutes refueling. You might just want to stay aboard. So, you like boats? Yeah, my dad had a boat for a while. Oh, what kind of boat? A small boat with a motor. You could fish on it at the Pay Lake. Ah, I see. So this one's a little bigger. Same idea, though. So what else did I neglect to explain earlier? This area here is called the wheelhouse. All these gauges and controls help me understand what's going on with the mucky mammoth and her haul. This is a compass, but it doesn't work very well down here for some reason. I just go by landmarks, basically, and lights. Did you see those 2 lights on the sides of the boat? A red one and a green one. All other boats have them too. Some are different colors or in different configurations. If we cross paths with someone, right away I can work out what kind of boat they're in and what direction they're going, even in the dark. It's all about looking up here. The other half of piloting this boat happens down in the map room. Speaking of which, have we passed the big rock that looks like a dinosaur yet? No, but we passed a huge cliff with a bunch of words painted on it. Oh, the story cliff. I don't know who wrote those words up there, but they tell a story about, well, it's hard to say what exactly it's about. It's a story of some people and animals and their adventures. Sometimes, if I'm running ahead of schedule, I like to drop anchor there and read for a while. The nice thing about the story cliff is you can start reading anywhere you want. There's no beginning or end, just a bunch of middle. That's weird. We should have definitely passed Dinosaur Rock by now. Oh, wait, there it is up ahead. See? Wow, that's my new favorite rock. I love this kid. He's so funny. It's great, right? What was your old favorite rock? A rock my aunt got in the mail from Arizona. It was bright green, and she said it had good energy. Hi, Claire. Welcome in. How are you? Cool. It's strange, though. According to my charts, we should have passed Dinosaur Rock before the story cliff, but that's okay. Sometimes the charts need updating. Hey, Will's down the map room right now. Could you run down and help him adjust the charts to move the story cliff so it comes a little clearer on our route than Dinosaur Rock? The map room's down below deck on the lower level, right next to the sleeping quarters. I'll get on the intercom and let him know you're coming. I'm okay. Streaming is helping. I've just been in a funk all week. Just feeling very overwhelmed. And not really for any particular reason. Like, there's no one thing that's, like, stressing me out. It's just too much. It's just too much. I'm gonna record her. Tape recording of cat purring. Yeah. Existing is overwhelming sometimes. Exactly right, Evers. Exactly. Alright, well. I guess we'll go down to the main deck. And then... what if we go over here? Can we record? Let's talk to Conway. Hey. What's up? You look like you're about to fall asleep. Kids, man. Nah, I don't think I could ever sleep on a river. You're right, though. It's been a long day. I should maybe find some coffee to go with all this beer. Or just move on up to the real stuff. Doesn't weigh you down as much, you know? Nah, of course you don't. I'm a literal child that you're talking to. Oh, you don't have the game audio. At least I figured it out. this time. Like, but right away. Hey, what am I talking about? Who knows? Okay, bye. Alright, let's go lower. You know, I'm learning. I'm getting better at the streaming thing. Except for the last time when the game audio was muted for the entire stream. And then the like last stream I did where whoa. Whoa, she's using a theremin. Wow, this is harder than it looks. Zenny and I found a theremin at a Goodwill. And we should have bought it. But we didn't have money. But we should have bought it. Well, nobody's nerfect. Nobody's nerfect. Yeah, it takes a certain kind of ear. Oh, like perfect pitch? Do you have that? Not really that. It's more like muscle memory. When I'm playing the theremin, I kind of hear with my hands. I must sound ridiculous. No, I think I get it. That's cool. It's a map room. Talk to Will. Sometimes I think having perfect pitch would be kind of a curse. Yes, especially because as you age, it goes away. So, like, you have it for a little bit, but then as you get older, it goes away. I think probably relative pitch is the better option. Yeah, it does, Claire. That's why, like, a lot of musicians who have perfect pitch are like, I wish I didn't, because now I'm starting to no longer have it, and I wish that, and it's kind of like messing with me, you know? It's weird. I know. Salutations, small man. Kate says you have an adjustment for our charts. Good timing, I'm just checking my copies. That's how we keep our charts up to date. As we pass through a section of the river or the lake, I draw a new copy of the map and make adjustments for anything we see that doesn't match. So this is where we have Dinosaur Rock marked now. This little dinosaur drawing, I drew that. Cool claws. Thank you. Will points to another small drawing on the map. Train says, I have relative pitch. I can recognize some notes, and for the ones I can't, I can mentally walk through. Oh, yep. I'm going to say that wrong. Solfeggio until I get there. Zenny is the same. Zenny also has relative pitch. And this here is where we thought the story cliff was, but now I guess we've got to move it back a bit. But how far, I wonder? Any ideas? Anything else you remember about when you saw the story cliff? The water got really dark for a little bit. Aha, well, that put the story cliff somewhere in here. It's the only part of the chart before Dinosaur Rock where the lake deepens noticeably. Good work. That should do it for the new copy. Oh, I made some other corrections. Tucked in the banks a little, made this section deeper, and left off a shipwreck that must have washed away or been scavenged into splinters. Man, even if you had good, like, directional awareness on this river, it doesn't even matter. Claire says, interesting. I could just tell when I play the wrong note. Is there a word for that? I don't know. That might be some sort of relative pitch. Because you're like, ooh, that's incorrect. So you would know relative to the other note that it's supposed to be that it's incorrect. That's what I would call it, but I know nothing about music. So, of course it means a lot of clutter, all these old copies. Say. I was just about to throw this stack out. Maybe you'd like to hang on to one? They're out of date, but they could be fun to look at. These are mostly river charts, I think. Take a look and see if one of them catches your eye. Faded old map, crisp clean map, rough torn map. Here, turn it around. Like, There you go. There's no real idea of north down here, magnetic or otherwise, so we just hold the maps with the current pointing down. The river curves clockwise, around a few small islands. A note is scribbled along the margin. Islands just below the surface, only visible under bright light. They come and go, the islands, that is. I still mark them if I see them. What about the clean one? That one I found wrapped in plastic. Quite well preserved. I wrapped it up like that so the chalk wouldn't smear. I must have lost my pencil that day, I don't remember. The river curves clockwise. There are no islands marked, but a few other landmarks are indicated with chalk circles. That one was the Story Cliff, I'm pretty sure. This one. Nice. Well, thanks for your help with the chart adjustments. Our next stop is a bar called the Rum Colony. I guess you're not much of a barfly, but you might like to run around on the beach, and the decor is, well, I'd be curious to hear what you think of it. Is that a bug? The gas station isn't anchored to anything. It follows the current. We might run into it anywhere along the river. Kate just starts looking for it when she's low on fuel, and the Echo provides. It's not usually on the lake, though. That was strange. Kate likes to wait until the very last minute to refuel. Yeah, she's a thrill seeker, and you'd never guess it. She seems so centered, doesn't she? I always thought so. Maybe that's why she enjoys rocking the boat a little. She knows she can stay upright through a little bad weather, so she can just relax and enjoy the chaos. Well, I admire her confidence. Me too. Maybe I should start spelling my name with a C, and then I can be that confident and just chill out instead of feel super overwhelmed. But there was plenty of chaos to go around that night already, with that ugly storm upstairs, though we didn't know the extent of the flood damage yet at that point. Anyway, my mechanical musician friends went ashore for a bit too, looking for some snack foods. Kate doesn't stock anything aboard the Mucky Mammoth that doesn't grow wild, and it's not to everyone's taste, or maybe just to stretch their limbs and recharge their batteries. Can you imagine enjoying the chaos? My goodness. The only chaos I enjoy is on Death to Divinity. That's the only chaos I like. Ugh. I do admire people that can just, like, deal with it and keep going. I came back looking kind of confused, though. I don't mean confused, like, not like when somebody asks you a question and you don't know the answer, but you feel like you should, and you get that kind of alarmed blankness in your mind's eye, not like that. They looked confused, like when you see two kinds of motor oil and they cost the same and you've never heard of either of them, and you read all the text on both packages, but all that new information just makes the choice seem even more impossible. You might be inclined to flip a coin, but how could you with something that important? Oh, I've been there. That feels real. Naturally, I assume they met the gas station attendant, a man as anonymous and itinerant as the place itself. I assume he talked their ear off. Everyone on this river does. But I know that fellow well enough to know he wouldn't want us reminiscing on him now. So they came back aboard. Mammoth refueled, and we ambled on toward the Rum Colony. I flip a coin, and then how I feel about the result tells me what I should do. Absolutely. I do that with dice. Shannon retreated to the TV room or followed the other travelers ashore. I bet she would go to the videos. That might also... Okay. Yeah, so like I was thinking... Train confirmed what I was thinking, that it might be relative pitch. I wonder if we'll ever get to Dogwood Drive. I didn't go anywhere. I just stayed. Oops. Oh well. Look at these bugs. Eject. Look at that cat. Always on the counter. Oops, I need to update that because that's not the correct Twitter anymore. I changed it. The shelves are full of dusty tapes. Some have been relabeled several times, the stickers piling up thick on their spines. I'm gonna actually make a note to myself. Change. So Claire said, it's always bothered me that I know when I'm singing off key, but that if people can hear me, they don't know that I know. I think I know what you mean. Well, because of who I am as a person, we're gonna do funeral thing. Sorry, not sorry. Funereal music from TV. Watch it. I gotta have that mood lighting. An elderly couple sit on folding chairs in the middle of a TV studio, undecorated except for a funereal lily and a thin blue vase on the table. The lights are a bit too dim to make out their features. She reads from a newspaper with unhurried efficiency. Gloria B. of Munfordville passed away on Monday at her residence. Survivors include her children, Dakota, Montana, Minnesota, and Bobby. And Bobby. All of Munfordville. A funeral service will be held at 7 p.m. Thursday at Hatton Huffman Funeral Home in Munfordville, with cremation to follow. She never knew Gloria. He thinks he may have heard the name, wondering aloud if she ever worked at a cafe down there in Munfordville. The woman who ran that place was once called Gloria, or maybe still is. They take a call, someone who knew Gloria B., if not very well. The caller once installed a satellite dish at Gloria's house, a 900-square-foot ranch-style home on 2 acres at a dead end, backed by weeds and pine. When the caller mounted the ladder up to Gloria's roof, she slid open her window and tugged urgently at his pant leg. He followed her gaze behind the house to 2 wild turkeys picking through the weeds. Gloria and the caller watched, silent and still, as the huge birds foraged obliviously into the trees. Then he installed the satellite dish. What else should we watch? Train said, no, I get that. I always struggle to sing happy birthday because I can't hear myself along the other people at the same time, which isn't quite the same time, but yeah. I feel that too, Train, actually. Luckily, whenever someone on Zenny's side of the family has a birthday, there's a family tradition in their family. Claire, hey, happy birthday is absolutely the worst song, and this is why this is my favorite, one of my favorite things about my in-laws. No. It just becomes like shouting and screaming. Like someone will just be going, like, and then someone will be screaming, and someone will be yelling the lyrics, and someone will actually be singing, and then it's just cacophony, and I love it so much. I laugh every time. The last time I was at a birthday party with their family, it was it was their grandma's, and oh my gosh, she laughed so hard. Also, I tried gooseberry pie at that birthday party, and gooseberries to me taste like not spicy jalapenos. Has anyone else had gooseberry pie before? Anyway, it's incredible, and I love it so much. Train says, instead of happy birthday, we will now sing the entirety of Smooth by Carlos Santana and Rob Thomas at you. Yeah, that would be better. Yeah, gooseberry pies are an experience. Apparently, Grandma was late to the hospital to give birth to her son because she had to stay for the gooseberry pie. So, I think that's wonderful. That's so funny. Gooseberries? Let me find so I can paste in chat. Gooseberries. So gooseberry Any of several species of flowering shrubs of the genus I'm not saying that. Cultivated for their edible fruits and as ornamentals. The tart fruit is eaten ripe and is often made into jellies, preserves, pies, and other desserts. The more you know. My partner Claire says my partner's mom makes them. Prepping gooseberries is a whole thing too. They're a lot of work. Interesting. Yeah, I'm gonna read about them after, but they taste like, to me, not spicy jalapenos. It was good. If I had my pick of pies, I don't know that I would choose that, but I guess it depends on where you grow up too. I mean, birds? Question marks. The question marks. Calling them berries kind of sets you up for disappointment. That's fair. They're almost more like grapes in a way, like in texture, I feel like. But they're smaller. Question marks. Duh. Insert. I'm not being a goblin. Watch. Eerie hum from TV. Is this gonna be like the Ring? Oh no. That awful hum. It seems to start before Shannon even hits play. Then there's the familiar room. There are blank gray walls marked with tape and school desks. And this time she notices a few more details. The murky carpet like standing water, some video equipment stashed in the corner, a row of lockers. Get out of your butt, Kate. I'm even more interested in these grape berries of the goose. Yeah. I guess Zenny's aunt had to find that, had to order them online in a jar. And there's Weaver. Weaver is Shannon's cousin, looking serenely at the camera. As before, she starts speaking, and as before, there's no sound but that hum. Shannon finds Weaver's words coming back to her as they appear in captions on the screen. Male school and these magnificent, tragic horses. Now that really does sound like the Ring to me. Go underground as deep as you can go. The air is cool and the earth is damp, and when you close your eyes, you are surrounded by the dead. Remember where that is? You'll find your way from there. I think this place is what you're looking for. Some of it will wash away soon, but I think you'll be happy here, even without the male school. The text repeats for a few minutes and Shannon stops the tape. How weird. Claire says you should try them. They're not bad. They just aren't very berry-like. Yeah. Don't go in expecting berries. Let's go to the main deck. But I definitely recommend trying them at least once. Preferably in pie form. I mean, everything's better in pie form, I think. If I'm being honest. Hello. Hello, friends. Kate and Will. No, it was only a few notes. Slow and sad, like funeral music, you know? I don't remember being sad, just simple and unburdened. Maybe that's what funeral music sounds like to me. Unburdened. Oh, hello. Kate and I were just trying to remember the Mammoth song. But neither of us have heard it for years. Will just found the mechanism in the mammoth's belly, hidden in gritty matted fur. It's like a big music box. A slowly spinning cylinder covered in metal pins that pluck her dulcet guts and pump the bellows in her bowels. Okay, so I thought it was just like a mechanical mammoth, but he's acting like it's a real mammoth, and I don't know how I feel about that. Especially if he's digging around in her stomach. I don't like that. Javi says, this is like the time I learned the salmon berries from Stardew are actual berries. Yeah. Nobody likes them in the game. Everyone's like, ugh, why are you giving me this? Maybe I need to up my berry and berry-esque game. Maybe. Maybe you should get good at the berry game. but some of the pins are rusted and worn away. Easy to replace if we can ever remember what the notes were. Did I hear you browsing the archive next door? Find anything good? Found something pretty unsettling, actually. Oh dear, I don't even know what's on half those tapes anymore. They used to all be movies and that kind of stuff. I like nature documentaries especially. Some people left home movies or little art videos they made, but that damn VCR devours anything you leave in it. It just switches into record mode at random, I think, and picks up whatever's coming in over the antenna. Of course, the only station we get down there is that WEVP, community television, you know. They've got that show with the gentleman playing banjo in his birthday suit. I'm sure you've seen it. Oh, yes. If there's no tape in the machine when it tries to start recording, it makes this awful sound, like putting a squeaky toy in a food processor. I can hear it above deck. Awful. That's why I put the sign up. Please do not rewind after watching. At least that way, nothing gets taped over anymore. I'm sure I can fix it. Claire says, speaking of berries, we had to bring our huckleberry bush in out of the cold, and it's so dang cute. Aw, yeah. It is so cold. At least we don't have, knock on wood, at least we don't have ice storms this year. So far. That was not fun. We were talking earlier, she has an intuition for these things. It's not an intuition, just experience. You should meet Dashiell. He did a lot of volunteer work for WEVP in the early days. Wiring up antennas and relays, stuff like that. I think you two would have a lot to talk about. He works at the telephone exchange. No, I'm afraid he's been let go. Oh yeah, that's odd. He still takes the ferry to work every day. I'm sure he's at the telephone exchange right now. In fact, I dropped him there a few hours ago. We're stopping at the telephone exchange again shortly to deliver their mail and pick up their trash. You should go ashore when we do. Ask for Dashiell. That's good, Claire. That's the worst thing. I imagine it being really terrible if you spend all this time like cultivating and growing these plants and then you get a cold snap and they're just dead. I rarely miss a chance to lounge on the beach around the rum colony, and I do enjoy a drink. Though I don't find their signature liquor suits me. But this time I elected to stay aboard and shoot the breeze with Kate over some mineral water. I was just about to. Can you hear how scratching my voice is? I have to read a lot in this game. Thank you for that hydrate. Still I heard reports. I heard the old man went a little deeper in his cups. It was the heat last year that took out our rhododendron. Oh no. Not at all surprising. He seemed to have some momentum, and Patch mixes up some pretty magnetic drinks. Not the rhododendron. No, those plants can get so huge. I've seen some pictures of really, really tall rhododendron trees. It's amazing. Oh, for talking about the rum colony, I should tell you about Patch. He's the bartender, general manager, creative director. I guess that means he books the music. He's pretty much run the place for the last 7 years. A lot of folks assume he owns it, but that's not the case. The rum colony is owned by a dead man named Vernon. Technically, it would be owned by the power company, who once bought a sizable interest from Vernon as part of a state-sponsored investment program, but a clause in that arrangement requires them to keep their hands off the day-to-day and most of the profits, so long as Vernon walks this earth. The upshot of all this is that nobody came forth to identify the body. Patch is a good guy, though. Kind, trustworthy, and he mixes a strong Mai Tai, if that's your thing. A Mai Tai is the only cocktail I've ever had. Was at a wedding. What's this? Javi says, Mai Tais are my go-to. Claire says, it was an experiment. Someone was going to kill it, and we offered to dig it up and transplant it into our yard, but it has struggled. Oh, no. I wonder why. Do they just have different soil or something? Did they, like, treat it with something? You know how you're supposed to put, like, different metals and stuff in the soil for hydrangeas to make them different colors? I wonder. Clara, Kate, and I stopped to do some business by telephone. What are we gonna do? At least we're leaving the boat this time. A phone. Alright. Wonder if it's the phone we called earlier. Looks the same. Claire says roadies prefer acidic soil, so we worked on that. I think it got too much sun after the ice storm took out our neighbor's tree. Oh. Dang. Guess we're gonna be here for a minute. Looks like they have a few calls to make. I should probably call someone too. Oh yeah? Who are you calling? I should call Julian. Oh wow, he's got a phone up there? I bet they all share a phone, right? All the birds. The big bird phone up in the sky. That's ridiculous. He uses the one at the museum. Makes sense. Oh. So I guess it was an ice-heat combo. That makes some sense, Claire. Well, I guess I'll head back aboard. Might see if I can find any of the good stuff stashed in the, maybe in the spice cabinet, maybe in the medicine cabinet. That's where it belongs. Well, who am I talking to? Don't listen to me, kid. I'll see you in a few. I don't like that. Sir, you have 2 electric limbs. Why did you just jump in the water? I don't like it. This looks like the bureau. Oh, the bare floor. Oh, there we go. Oh, I love when you successfully parallel park. Feels great. Oh. Right. That's like parents, you know? Well, at least you didn't have to do it like this, like when I was a kid. It's really interesting. But I want to keep hearing what other people. 23 different messages, though. Don't you go diving in too. It's actually really cold and kind of dangerous. Did he say where he was going? He's looking for the good stuff. I see. Still thirsty. Kate keeps some diet soda in the broom closet, but you didn't hear it from me. It's next to the bleach. Bring a flashlight. That would be a terrible mistake to make. Oh, no, I don't think that's what he's looking for. So, any important messages? Every single one. Where are you headed tonight, small man? I'm looking for my family. Looking for a new family or a family you lost track of? My folks disappeared. We met Ezra earlier tonight, and he's been very helpful. I'm hoping we can return the favor once we get back above ground. Poor kid was sleeping at the bus station and just lost track of his folks. He'll be all right. He's more at home down here than any of us. Trust me, I have an eye for it. Kate, thanks for calling. Hope I didn't wake you up. No, I can't really get comfortable enough to sleep anymore, except in the car. Oh, not driving. In the passenger seat. Reclined. Eric drove me around the reservoir this afternoon, and I think I got an hour or two in. I couldn't get settled in bed, so I was just watching TV. Some cooking show about high-concept junk food, and everyone from my high school chemistry class was there making cupcakes out of old bicycle parts. I think I might have dozed off a bit, actually. Honestly, this baby can come out whenever he wants. I'm completely over it. Don't rush it. Just try to get some rest. That's what Eric says. I guess it'll happen when it happens. I mean, obviously it... Uh-oh. Whoa. God, the phones down here are such a mess. Hey, Kate, I really appreciate you checking in. I have your pager number, and so does Eric, just in case I'm too, distracted or whatever. I'll let you go. I should try to eat something. Let's see. Try some of that lichen oil I left just to help settle your stomach. Okay, thanks. Maybe I'll just chew on some ice. Talk to you soon, Kate. Hopefully. This is so interesting. Just checking in on a client. Did I mention I'm a birth doula? Wow, how does that fit with being a tugboat captain? Some women choose to come labor on the boat, actually. For the rest, I have a backup just in case I can't get back to dry land in time. I've been lucky and only had to lean on her a handful of times out of several hundred births. You'd never believe how many people are just born all the time. Is everything okay? Everything's great. Sounds like she's ready. Some women just know. It's amazing. Others are caught totally by surprise. Your friend went back aboard? He's been drinking a bit. Oh, I should have pointed him toward the head. I'm glad you phoned. I was just thinking of you. You're sitting by the phone waiting for my call? That's so nice. I was eating an early lunch, actually, and my mind was wandering. I visited the hospital yesterday. I went to visit Uncle Andreas, but they moved him. Now he's in a hospice care facility run by some old Polish nun. Everyone says it's very nice. I asked them about visiting, and they said he didn't want any visitors. He's just being stubborn. Yes, it's typical of Andreas. I was thinking maybe if you came to visit, he would see you. All those afternoons you two would go drinking beers by the river. Don't you think it would mean a lot to him if he could say goodbye to you in person? Oh, Nadia, I'd never make it back in time anyway. It's true, you're a long way from home, Clara. I suppose it can't be helped. Oh, here's Mother at the door. We're going to try again to see him. I hope the tour is going well. Love you. Be careful. My sister, back home. She's very depressing to me this morning. My Uncle Andreas is terminally ill and refusing visitors, and Nadia is making a stir about it. Sorry to hear. Are you close? Yes, but only recently. He lived abroad most of my life. I only met him a few years ago. My sister is older, so she knew him as a child, too. So I think her respect for him is distorted by sentiment. We must always take the dying at their word. Their motivations are beyond our understanding. It's fair. The older man, he's swimming back to the Mammoth? No emergency, I hope. He's looking for the toilet. Well, I hope he finds it before we embark. He seems unsteady on his feet as it is. Brandon approaches. I don't suppose any of you folks are headed past the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces. Not on this run, but we'll be coming back this way in a few hours. Well, I may still be here then. It's no big deal. I'll just hang out and read or something until it's time to head back to work. Hey, you folks are traveling with that old guy, right? With the leg? Is he okay? I saw him earlier tonight. He came by the storage facility for some files. He totally bit it on the staircase. He's okay though, right? Sure, he's just been drinking a bit. You know how it is. Yeah, you'd have to be to dive into the echo like that. Well, have a good night. Or, morning, almost. Wow. It has been a long night. This is very vibey. I love this. That right there is Ratcliffe Monuments, if you ever need a headstone carved for a loved one, I mean. Violet Ratcliffe, never married, nevertheless bore 6 children, Earl, Kelly, Barb, Ron, young Earl, and Beauty. And for each birth she locked the doors of Ratcliffe Monuments for only one day, even with young Earl, when she was in labor for 36 hours. Oh, well, that's what folks said, and I met her, and I believe them. She had the unyielding disposition of a cliffside. None of Violet's children had any desire to go into monument making. Beauty thought it was all a bit ghoulish. There's some truth to that. Very little demand for monuments to the living, after all. The run of the shop fell at last to young Earl, the only Ratcliffe still at home when his mother finally passed at 82, who then had the honor of engraving her headstone. He's done well for the most part. His shop was damaged in a flood a few years ago. The showcase, a mock cemetery out front, was mostly washed away. Stone monuments, bobbing violently in the first torrents of the flood, eventually sank and spread along the channel bottom downriver, an elongated graveyard for no human loss, visited by eyeless fish and adorned with indifferent wreaths of algae. Wow, that's really poetic. Also, remember in Act 1 there was a fake cemetery out in front of Weaver's house. Interesting. If a few stray stones ended up at the bottom of Lake Lethe, too, we'll never know. Young Earl is the last of his short line professionally, and there's nobody around qualified to carve his monument, so he's already claimed one of those bottom of the river for himself. Whoa. Now where are we? Hezertot is a card game. Clara draws a card. 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. Kate draws a card. 7 blue petals, 3 deep breaths, 8 white doves, 5 slow hours. to Kate. What are we listening to? Oh, just this tape a friend of mine sent me. They live in the desert. Sphinx? Something like that. Sounds good on the Mammoth PA. Yeah, that's the only way I listen to anything lately. Your turn, buddy. Oh no, it was 738. Ah, you're beating at your own game. I'm just glad it didn't come to my turn again. You took a bullet there, my friend. It's a hard game, that's why I like it. And we're only, how many cards in now? 5 or something? I assume it will go to 52. It goes until everyone forgets a card. That could go on a long time then. Well, not with this crowd, I guess. We're all too soggy-brained, I know I am. I even take homemade supplements for it. Shade-grown lichen, boiled with the peel of a lemon, then frozen and crushed with oak leaves. It's a scalp massage oil. You can smell it if I get close. It dries the brain out a bit, which is helpful for good memory if I can remember to use it often enough in the first place. I can't get over how good these captions are. I mean, even though I don't speak clearly, they're picking them up pretty well. Oh, don't worry. The soggy brain has its benefits, too. If your brain is soft and damp, new ideas can make a clear impression, like a boot in wet sand. But like wet sand, it can easily get muddied and washed away. So there's a trade-off, see? It's a shame we can't have it both ways, isn't it? What's this game called, Ezra? Forgetting game. Kate likes to give her passengers the opportunity to make some floating around money, and that lab pays cash in small envelopes upon completion of their little gauntlet of non-invasive tests. It's a project of the university. I think they're studying... I don't remember. The Mammoth also collects their trash, mostly shredded paper, though Kate says once they left half a vending machine on the dock. But nobody seemed too interested in the lab stop that night. They stayed aboard and played a card game. I read a book. Let me tell you about it. Set in a small town in the Pacific Northwest. The town is never named, but it's colorfully described. Woolly fog, broken coastline, provincial shopkeepers. The main characters are mail carriers. They're co-workers, Mimi and Jen. Mimi is older than Jen, but they seem to be at the same point in their lives. They like their work. They have a playfully antagonistic relationship with their boss. I actually only read a bit from the middle. Jen reminisces about a cat she lost track of. It's a sweet and uncomplicated passage. Human affection for animals is a good model for pure compassion. In my life's work as the Echo River's premier anecdotalist, I've always found that a carefully excerpted moment is more powerful than any epic story, any epic history. That's my excuse anyway, for reading books from the inside out. So I stopped there. My eyelids were getting heavy. We were headed back to the lake and the chance encounter with the Iron Pariah. I'm starting to get hungry. I didn't eat dinner before streaming because I had lunch at like 3:30. Whoa. What's that? Ezra helped Kate forage for mushrooms. I say this a lot, but I still want to do this sometime. Forage for mushrooms. I also really want to go to this place in town that has a chicken and waffles, or like a chicken and biscuit sandwich, but I don't eat meat, so it's chicken of the forest. It's like a maitake mushroom, dredged and battered and fried like fried chicken. Oh my gosh, it was so good. I want it. I might actually see if I can get it next week when I get paid. Whoa. She lit a second cigarette with the embers of the first one. She trembled, sweating a little under a heavy coat. It was warmer near the doors, but she was following directions. No smoking within 25 feet of hospital entrance. So she stood by a hot dog cart, parked at the edge of the sidewalk. Kate gently rolls a fallen branch and plucks something white from the underside. She holds it up for Ezra to examine. Pleurosobella porogens. The common name is angel wings. Isn't that pleasant? They have a delicate, springy texture and they're tasty, like sweet moss. Would you like a bite? Sweet moss doesn't sound very tasty to me. Personally, I like to be able to tell where my food came from by flavor alone. I like to taste my surroundings, I mean. Keeps me connected to the whole thing. My mushroom hunting mentor told me, it's useless to pretend you know mushrooms. They escape your erudition. The more you know them, the less sure you feel about identifying them. That's why I always bring my favorite guidebook. Oh, here's an important one to recognize though. Look, see the sort of greenish pallor of the cap? Amanita phalloides. Phalloides. The Greek amanita means mushroom, and phalloides means, never mind. Can you eat it? Only once. It's deadly poisonous. Death cap, that's the common name. It's killed a lot of people, this little mushroom, including a few Roman emperors. It's revolutionary. Even the Buddha died from eating a mushroom when he was very old. That's just what they do. Clear away old things, make room for new things. Pretty important, right? I've always thought they deserved a little more respect. Would you like to help me look for a few more? I have a sort of shopping list. Great. Look for... Actually, just grab any mushrooms that catch your eye and throw them in the bag. Let me know when you're done and we'll see what you've got. Have fun. That's the second rule of mushroom hunting. The first rule is, ask Kate before eating anything, okay? Ezra investigates a rotting stump. Stump is ringed with overlapping shelves of mushrooms, a striped brown, blue, gray, white. A caterpillar crawls along one of them. He didn't like to play in the house. It was always too cold. It seemed to store up the cold at night, then slowly discharge it into his bones during the day, while the sun bounced feebly off the windows. But he liked to play in the woods behind the house. He didn't have any friends nearby. None of their new neighbors seemed to have children his age, so he played alone in the woods. Alone except for the deer. Inspects the caterpillar. The caterpillar shuffles listlessly across the mushroom. It seems to be dragging several of its legs. An odd brown-black thread protrudes about 2 inches out of its head. He saw strange lights in the trees, flickering purple. He kept going. Ezra leaves the tree stump. Pokes around, checks out a plastic bag washed up on the island. The bag is ragged and waterlogged. He nudges it with a stick, coiling up a plastic thread and spreading it out on the beach. He'd taken a knife from the kitchen, selected for its long serrated edge. Meant for slicing bread, its teeth had reminded him of a saw blade. He was determined to select some firewood to heat the house. There are no mushrooms in the bag. Ezra closes his eyes and listens to the water and distant clicking of bats. Kate kneels in the grass. She parts the grass with her garden knife, studiously combing the ground. The hot dog vendor tried to strike up a conversation with some immediately too personal questions. She decided to give him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he considered it part of his job, she thought, to offer his customers some kind of counsel. Maybe it was to salve his guilty conscience for selling junk food outside a hospital. There are no mushrooms in the grass. He tripped on a protruding root and lay for a while in the mud, examining the pale upper branches of a sycamore tree, listening to the soft rumble of a faraway thunderstorm, then louder, closer, and his hair stood on end, and there was the bird. Didn't find anything? That's okay. I didn't find anything either. You never know when or how they'll appear with mushrooms. There are a few species that can be cultivated, but mostly the conditions that make them grow are just too complicated and obscure to reproduce. They're one of the only truly wild things left in this world. I mean, even the weather is more or less under the influence of human industry at this point, right? So, what are your parents do for work, I mean? My dad used to sell windows. People were building a lot of new houses and they needed a lot of windows, but then they stopped building houses. My mom worked at a bakery and bar. Sometimes she would see the same people in the morning and the evening. The bakery closed and she doesn't work at the bar anymore, but she still goes there a lot to see her friends. Do you have a family? I almost had a baby once. I learned a lot about difficult pregnancies at least, so now I can help other women. I got very sick, and the only thing that helped me was a funny-looking mushroom called collared earth star. I've basically been on my own since then. Well, that's not really true. Just about everyone who sets foot aboard the Mucky Mammoth feels like family to me now. I guess if nobody's family, then everybody's family. There are only trees in this whole cave. These are the only trees in this whole cave. Who planted them here? What's this island for? It looks like someone made it on purpose. Oh, right. It's kind of a nice, simple shape. Pleasantly minimal island geometry. Months later, she came across a book on homeopathic medicine in a used bookstore and bought it. She thought it was mostly bullshit, but found the author's notes on the unpredictability of mushrooms immediately compelling, spiritual even. She started collecting mushrooms on hikes, never eating them, just collecting, identifying, and discarding. Eventually, she connected with the Lexington Mycological Society and began to study in earnest the medicinal uses of fungi. I'm sure it could be natural, though. I mean, I don't know if the island itself is man-made or not, but I guess I don't know much about this place, really. It's supposed to be some kind of memorial to something? Will would know more. Sorry, it's a mystery. Sarah kicks the dirt. It's a mystery. I'll search for clues. She put out her cigarette, said goodbye to the hot dog vendor, and spent the rest of the afternoon listening to doctors and trying to understand the world as they did, as a list of discrete injuries to be mended. The monument is covered with lichen and painted text. Ezra reads the text. Rock graffiti. X plus O forever. The tree smells spicy, oily. Ezra looks up into the branches. Some of the branches have been trimmed recently. Alright, what have you got? That stone-faced monument has X plus O forever painted on it. Interesting. What do you think that means? Hug and kiss forever? Or they could be initials. Xavier and Olivia forever. Xerxes and Oliver? What do you think that monument is for? I'm not sure anyone remembers. It's my new favorite rock. Wow, even better than Dinosaur Rock? I think so. Branches on the tree are trimmed. Oh, good observation. So I guess somebody's still taking care of this place. Or just practicing their tree trimming somewhere out of the way. Well, Ezra, I can't say I know what that all adds up to. Like I said, I wish Will were here. He'd have some local history for us. We can ask him back on the boat. An old battleship drifting by. Oh, there it is, the Iron Pariah. Don't worry, it's just passing by. I don't know much about it firsthand, but I've heard things. Ezra's parents shook him awake. They seemed alarmed, but not immediately concerned. They led him back to the house, past the house, into the car. Dad said they were going to stay at the bus station for a while, the one with the little arcade, with the car game he liked. Dad watched him closely, in the rearview mirror, expecting Ezra to be excited or confused or scared, but he didn't feel anything. He hardly seemed to hear. In fact, he felt like he was observing the family car from a distance, from far above, from the clouds. Supposedly there's nobody even aboard. No people, I mean. There must be something on there. Life is everywhere. Rats, insects, some kind of hardy mold. Part of it could be flooded and host to some of the eyeless fish that live in the Echo. Hey, maybe there are some mushrooms growing in there. Slowly consuming military rations from over 100 years ago. Someone told me she got close to it by accident and heard a strange wailing sound. She was a passenger on the Mammoth. She said she'd been out fishing on a rowboat and got swept up by a current near the cluttered place. Before she knew it, the Iron Pariah was upon her, unimaginably massive, up close but eerily silent. The only sounds, she said, were the lapping of the lake water against its iron hull and a faint sort of, well, she said a chorus of mews. I'll be damned if I know what that sounds like. Never gotten close enough to this shit myself. More mysteries. They do pile up over time, as people forget the details. Thanks for taking me mushroom picking. Mushroom hunting. You can pick apples because they're right out there in the open. Mushrooms hide. You have to hunt for them. It's time to go. I'm getting a scratchy throat. See that rough circle of rocky protrusions near the shore? It's more intricate than it looks. More than 2/3 of it is actually underwater. I haven't seen it myself, but listen to this. It's man-made, and the rocks weren't placed according to their size. So what's visible is more or less uniformly random selection of the overall shape. Looks like it might be a spiral, all told, or maybe some sort of meditative labyrinth. At the head of it is a petrified oak stump. That was moved here from above ground, of course, decades ago. That's where the ceremony took place. The Loch Lucks were married here. Many frail-tongued observers said they should just go with Loch or with Luck. Or split the difference with Look, or even Lick. Or really anything else, but it was never going to happen. Greta Luck and Norm Locke were high school sweethearts, or they met in line at the DMV. I'm gonna say high school sweethearts. They took a chemistry class together where she challenged him to shoot the moon, learning formula and compounds well enough to answer every test question exactly wrong and achieve a perfect failing grade. Their engagement was welcome news for the family businesses who'd been looking for some opportunity to merge interests. The Locks ran a busy printing press, and the Lucks managed a fleet of bicycle couriers. The natural next step was to start a local paper that would become the Echo River Evening Record. The ceremony itself was humble and perfunctory, and it must have somehow involved these rocks. Maybe they walked around them in a spiral like a symbol of their ever-tightening bond. And it must have also involved that petrified stump. Neither family is particularly religious, but rumors persist that the officiant wore a robe. Shannon helped me. Shannon and her friends set out in the dinghy to deliver a package at the telephone exchange. Echo River Central Exchange. Thanks again for your help. This is about as far as the tugboat can go. You know, noise and lights disturb the bats. I usually send Will, but I thought you'd like the chance to meet Dashel. He's the guy who worked at the TV station, WEVP. So you'll pass through the Bat Sanctuary, which is really nice, by the way. Be sure to check out all the plaques and stuff for cool bat facts. Plenty of time. Anyway, the Echo River Central Exchange, or, excuse me, Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. They changed the name when the power company took over. Anyway, it's just on the other side of the Bat Sanctuary. This package is going to Poppy. She's an operator. The operator. Poppy! Poppy's the name of my D&D character. One of them. We'll meet you on the other side at Salmonida's for our scheduled early breakfast stop. Just follow the river. Can't miss it. Oh, I almost forgot. You may or may not be interested. There's this kind of weird memorial sculpture on your way in, just before the Bat Sanctuary. I really always recommend people at least stop and take a look at it. It's really sort of... I don't know how to say it. You should check it out. Okay, bye. Whoa. 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 Is that the one they were talking about? Must be. We claim these helmets in the names of the folks who wore them, and we place them here in their memory, but also as a spit in the greedy green eye of that power company who bought up our old mine and traded our brothers and sisters' safety for a little more yield, but only yielded 28 good men and women dead when the walls collapsed and the tunnels filled with water. Their lungs were black, but now they're washed clean and full of water too, and swept through hidden tunnels into some awful cave we never will find. And so we guess the water buried them for us, so let this here be the marker for their grave. Shannon's parents were miners, and they died in the collapse. And if any son of a bitch from that power company wants to take back these helmets as company property, just you try it and see what will happen. Hey, Elkhorn, that's the mine we met in, where your folks, worked. Looks like it's been here a while. I sure as hell wouldn't mess with it. You think whoever wrote it is still that angry? I don't think you ever forget anger like that. No, I guess you probably don't. This probably stirs up, how do you... It's fine. I'm glad this is here. People should remember this happened. Well, here we are, remembering. And I didn't even know it the first time around, but here I am remembering it now. That's a fine memorial, I guess. Dang. This game. I almost thought about playing a different game today just because of how, my mood has been. But I'm glad. Oh no. Fuck these motherfuckers. I hate them. They work for the power company. What? You're looking at me like I'm crazy. Just sometimes I forget I don't even really know you that well. Yeah, well, that makes two of us. You know, those guys from the distillery are just making the best of a bad situation, just like the rest of us. Hey, one of them said to me earlier they could even help me take care of these medical bills for my leg, you know? Get it all together on a plan, consolidated. Hey, if we can find her, maybe Weaver can get you out of this thing with the distillery. She has some experience with them. Oh, sure, could be. Anyway, I have a feeling it'll all work out. Even for me? Hey, why not? Seems like we're getting pretty close to finding your cousin, right? And besides that, you're young and smart, plenty of time to bounce back from whatever. Listen, that old truck I've been driving belonged to my boss, Ira, Lizette's husband. To be honest, Ira didn't like me very much, but somehow Liz got it into her mind that he would have wanted me to have that truck someday. Maybe to make up for all the yelling he did, or maybe so his ghost could hold it over me. Just one more thing to feel like I owed him for. Anyway, they got their own trucks at the distillery, and now that the antique shop is closing up, I've got no use for that old truck. I was thinking you could take it. Sure, I could keep an eye on it for you until you get it straightened out. Sure, okay, sounds good. He seems pretty much resigned to it. She's like, no. We're not letting this go. Visitors to the Echo River stern-faced red bat artificial hibernaculum and sanctuary are asked to take extra precautions in order to prevent the introduction of foreign fungal contaminants and the spread of white nose syndrome. Please do not visit the sanctuary during the same day in which you visited any cave known or suspected to host bats infected with white nose syndrome. Please do not leave your vehicle. If you must leave your vehicle, please remove shoes, clothes, jewelry, headwear, and eyeglasses to ensure you do not bring any foreign spores with you. Please do not touch any bats or structures. The stern-faced red bat is confused by light. If you are using a lantern or other artificial light source, be aware that it may attract and confuse bats. If you are approached by bats, do not panic. Relax. Stop your vehicle and switch off your light. Never touch a bat. I guess we'll just keep... It's continuing to just have us go forward, so Oh, look. Glad we have the dog with us. Bat fact. Ever talk with your mouth full? Bats do it all the time. Bats talk in extremely high frequency clicks, too high for humans to hear, when they use their powerful ears to scan for the echoes of these ultrasonic clicks. By comparing very subtle differences in the time these echoes take to come back, differences of just millionths of a second, bats are able to picture their environment with enough accuracy to catch a flying insect. Once a bat has caught an insect in its mouth, it's still flying, and so it still needs to avoid running into anything. So bats keep clicking away, even while they munch on a tasty bug snack. It may be poor table manners, but it's crucial for surviving in the dark. I wonder how the other bats know whether one of them is really talking or just chasing a bug. Rabbit says, every night I drop in for a few seconds and the shot is stunning. Absolutely. Yeah, see you next time, Rabbit. Thanks for stopping by. Appreciate you. Sometimes it's hard to know with people, too. I think when they're actually communicating, it sounds more like singing. I'd like to hear that. Let's turn our light off for these bats to not be confused real quick. And then we'll keep going. I love that the dog's wearing a hat. It just brings me so much joy. It is. There's so many really cool shots in this game. I really like it. These bats need to chill. Damn, it's really dark down here. Are you still there? Sorry, just thinking. Yeah, it's a reflective kind of place if you're that kind of person, which I think you are. What are you thinking about? Weaver. Oh, yeah. You think she's down here somewhere? Yeah, I do, actually. I was just thinking about my ma. I guess because we were talking about your folks a minute ago. To be honest with you, I don't think about her that often. Your cousin brought her up earlier, and she's just been on my mind. Train says, I don't quite have a good eye for framing in my work yet. Still working on that. I think that's really hard to develop. Have you tried, I don't know. For me, if I was trying to figure that out, I would probably go out and just frame a bunch of photos, go out and just take a bunch of pictures, and yeah, and we're always learning. Lifetime to master and all that. Absolutely, Train. Correct. Yeah, I really love taking photos, and maybe if you can get if you're taking a picture of a location or a subject, you can sort of angle in different ways and see which type of framing you prefer. Might be a way to do it. It's good your folks have a memorial. A lot of people, nobody remembers them when they're gone. You mean like your ma? Oh, no, she would have hated that. I don't know what I mean. I think he meant like himself, because he doesn't have a lot of people, Conway. Another bat fact. The stern-faced red bat's natural diet mostly consists of moths and other small insects that breed along the river. Here at the artificial hibernaculum and sanctuary, we use a combination of chemical snares and ultrasonic wards to repel all potentially contaminant-bearing insects, and replace them with our own locally bred and spawned hypoallergenic antiseptic pseudomoths, which we call the little gray nothing moth. You may be thinking that the other moths and insects the stern-faced red bat would have been eating are very much relieved that their natural predator has found another food source. Not so. We've installed netting and highly effective moth traps along the river, where the stern-faced red bat normally hunts, to balance their escape from the food chain. But eating moths isn't the only systemic contribution these bats make. They also produce a potent fertilizer in the form of guano that helps plant life thrive along the Echo River and the shore of Lake Leith. In order to minimize the sanctuary's impact on subterranean agriculture, we collect that precious guano here at the hibernaculum and manually distribute it throughout the caves. It's a full-time job. Sounds like a lot of work. It's all fake, except for the bats. Yeah, I guess so. Reminds me of that guy Donald and his crew down there with the computer. Right, it is reassuring to know someone's taking care of everything for these little bats. Yeah, who's gonna build the people hibernaculum? Maybe we'll build it ourselves. Maybe we already did. Like the folks in the mine, you said they used to buy stuff. Fans, canaries, all those little trinkets to make it bearable. There's still a lot of stuff down there. It feels cluttered, but human. That feels very real to me. Like, you buy stuff to make your reality bearable. You, like, treat yourself to a thing to make it bearable. I do that a lot. Damn. I just mean, all people need is enough to pretend we're home and we can make it anywhere. You get kind of philosophical when you're drinking. Did anyone ever tell you that? Yeah, I guess I do. Nah, this is nothing. I used to have this drinking buddy who would get loaded and tell the weirdest damn riddles, like, which is more musical, a truck passing by a factory or a truck passing by a music school? Count your blessings. Whoa. The heck? It's a weird tree. The bats were confused. Better hang on a minute. It feels like there's one kind of hovering right over me. They don't really hover though, do they? I mean, how could they? I mean, I guess a hummingbird will hover by beating its wings really fast. Maybe they can do that too. I used to watch hummingbirds in the afternoon at the kitchen window. Lizette's kid Charlie, he loved them, you know. He studied aviation. He set up a bunch of hummingbird feeders that last summer he was home. Big sugar water buffet. But those dumb birds didn't find it until he was gone. Anyway, me and Liz, sometimes we'd try to see one of them up close. You get up to the window and then you have to stand totally still for a while, like one of those wax sculptures. Don't even move your eyes like this. Oh, you can't see me. I was doing the watching hummingbirds close-up face. I think I can imagine it. Yeah, you've seen it already. It's my driving face, too. Liz told me that once, and now I can't ever help but think of it when I'm driving or when I see a hummingbird. Hey, who were you talking to earlier when we met in the mine? You were on the phone with someone. I forgot about that. My ex. Alejandra. We met in school and we're still pretty close. She has kids now, so I don't talk as much. I was just venting on the phone about my landlord situation. She didn't really have time for it, busy doing other things. I actually hate talking on the phone. Yeah, I try not to use it. I like to see someone's hands when they talk. Most people never learn how to lie with their hands, so anything you see there you can pretty much take for truth. Have y'all seen that, I guess it was a TikTok or a video of a guy who's obviously been, like, holding out nectar every day for this hummingbird because it comes up and it just, like, is drinking it. And then he's like, hey, you want to take a break? And then the hummingbird stops beating its wings and, like, sits on his hand and drinks. I don't know, it was cool. I was like, oh, I want that. I would like a bird friend. I would like a hummingbird friend, but what I really want is a crow friend or a raven friend. Speaking of, I was also listening to a podcast recently about crow thanatology. So, like crow funerals. And, like, the researcher was also talking about, like, different games that crows play, stuff like that. Confused again. Lizette's sick. I mean, she's old. We're both old. Hell, you're about the youngest person I know right now. Oh, and the kid. Maybe blue by a people calendar. In dog years, though, I bet she has us all beat. So I'm old too, sure, and I forget stuff all the time, especially if I had a few and my brain is swimming, but, I mean, Liz, it's all going away. She's losing words you'd never think you'd lose, not just like the street she grew up on, but the names of colors and types of furniture, or I mean, even the word furniture. She'd say, we've still got a few nice places in the, pieces in the, what's that I call the shed, where we put the bigger pieces, the beds and couches, and I'd say, oh, Liz, why do you keep teasing me about that time I fell asleep in the furniture shed when it's so damn comfortable in there? I tried to help her keep some dignity, you know. That's all I had to offer at the end. She has a sister in Nashville who will take good care of her, and now that I'm not around the shop all the time, what was that old guy's name? Used to make deliveries for the shop. He smells like leather. Ira was always yelling at him. Too drunk to work on the one day he could have been in the right place at the right time. You feel pretty badly about that accident. Do you think she blames you? No, but it's awful to say, but sometimes I kind of wish she would. That way at least she could eventually forgive me. You know what I mean, right? I'm sure she'd forgive you. Okay, I think the bats are clearing out. Ooh, I think we're leaving the sanctuary. Goodbye, bats. Whoa. Looks like an old subway station. Whoa, green light. Whoa. Careful up there. Can't drive your new truck if you slip and break your legs. You too. Try not to make any more bad deals while I'm gone. I'll just be floating along down here. I just mean keep your eyes open and don't look back. Oh, hi, I remember you. What are you doing down here? I'm just exploring. I like dark underground places. I'm a romantic. Really? So am I think. Yeah, you'd have to be to hang out down here. Okay, bye. I don't remember Flora. Dashel. Could be bypassed with another capacitor at 100 nanofarads to reduce noise. If your circuit's too noisy, you should tie these floating pins to the ground. Huh, that's a pretty good idea. They're probably picking up all kinds of radio interference. Dashel Morse, pleased to meet you. We don't install this type of phone for customers anymore, but there are quite a few of them still in circulation. Anyway, the new system doesn't source enough current to ring these old bells, so I'm trying to come up with a workaround. Maybe a little box the customer could attach right before the wall jack. I'm a bit of a circuit geek myself. I bet. I mean, you seem very comfortable with electronics. Is this your first time down here? Yeah, I can tell. Your eyes can't quite adjust to the light. It takes some practice. Believe it or not, I've been coming here since I was a kid for one reason or the next. Back then, this place was a train station. It's true. They had bats then, too, but they were considered a nuisance. Train station? What'd you come here for as a kid? I usually came here with my grandmother. We took the train out to the town she lived in or in the other direction back to my parents' home. In my memories, it was always cold. Winter, I guess. Sometimes now... Hi, Chloe! Sometimes now... I walk along the tunnel and run my hand along these wet stone walls and close my eyes, ringing footsteps in the drip, drip, drip of the grimy stalactites. Well, the river shifted and this place slowly filled with water, carrying the trains away with the current. It does that, the river, and I don't begrudge it. It's a good reminder that everything we have is borrowed, even trains. Shout out to Chloe, awesome streamer. How are you doing tonight, friend? Ooh, Stardew Valley. I love it. Eventually, someone at the Bureau of Reclaimed Spaces heard this place was still empty, so they moved the phone company in here. I returned here as a young lineman, a skill I picked up in wartime, running telephone wires behind enemy lines. We used trees instead of poles. I miss that, actually. They were easier to climb. It's just as well. I'm in no shape to be climbing anything these days. The closest I get is patching up the wiring in the crystal room for the WEVP folks. I'm well, thanks for the shout out. Of course. This game is very hard to explain, but it's called Kentucky Route Zero. It's a point and click. We start out as this man in the boat who has to make our final delivery for the antique shop that we work at, but we can't seem to find the address. So we end up in this, we meet a couple of folks and we end up in this underground highway where we meet a bunch more weird people, uncover some weird corporate stuff, become like a slave to the corporation. Like, it's a lot. It's hard to explain. I highly recommend playing it. It's really, really interesting. The vibes are really cool. I don't know. It's hard to explain. It's just really, really cool. I'm enjoying it a lot. Spring cleaning. I need to do spring cleaning so bad, but I don't have any time. Oh, I'm gonna ask about my cousin Weaver. Did you ever know a girl named Weaver? Sure, Weaver Marquez. That's funny, I was just thinking about her. Yeah, I met her a couple of times at the TV station. Chloe says, kind of reminds me of Into the Woods. That one game where you play as a cat. Oh, Night in the Woods? Is that what it's called? I was like, Into the Woods is that Sondheim musical. But I think it's Night in the Woods? Right? I don't know, I never played it. Maybe I should. Into the Woods. Home before dark. I suppose I didn't know her too well. She handled the archives and I was helping with wiring and stuff. She really seemed to know her way around all that gear, though. She had a head for signals, I think. No idea where she ended up. I would guess she's probably not too popular around the station anymore, but I always liked her. Listen, miss, if you're interested in WEVP, you should go talk to them directly. They're always looking for volunteers. Take the ferry over to the silo. There's a mail stop there. They don't have a sign or anything. Just ask around. I guess I'll get back to this damn old ringer. Poppy's just a little further down if you're dropping off that package. Nice chatting with you. All right. Can I just keep walking along? Oh, I guess so. What does this plaque say? Abel and Eloise, the lovers' couriers. Bred for racing, Abel and Eloise spent most of their lives as carrier pigeons in the employ of the Echo River Avian Post. They retired here after Abel was disfigured in an accident with a light aircraft. But old habits were hard to die. Abel and Eloise would pick up scraps of paper from the ground, the trash, even pull them out of pockets and deliver them to other people nearby to delight or embarrassment. Word spread, and travelers passing through this tunnel began to come prepared with love letters, poems, and other written desires to pass along indirectly through these pigeons. After a hard day's work, Abel and Eloise would always be found nestled closely together in a disused newspaper stand set aside for their habitation, and that's where we left them. Aw, that's cute. Aw, pigeons in love. Poppy. I'm gonna take a drink. I think I might be ready to call it. My voice is getting so scratchy. I always forget how much you have to read in this game. Just set it right there over by the lamp, sweetie. Thanks. I made this Poppy have a southern accent because my D&D character named Poppy also has a southern accent. Actually, just a minute. Who does that parcel claim to be from? Consolidated Power Co. Oh dear, I'm afraid to open it. So who are you? Do you work for the post office or the tugboat? I only ask because I haven't seen you before. Was that you I heard chatting down the hall? I'm just doing Kate a favor dropping off this package. Kate, I love Kate. She helped deliver both my nieces, one in a hospital and one at the base of a mossy moonlit oak. It was beautiful. I love Kate. Good work, what? My accent. Train, you like it? I think Loretta's granddaughter used to too. Oh, Loretta used to work here, actually. I think quite a few of our former operators have relied at some time on Kate's services. Well, now I guess they'll have more time with their little ones. As you can see, all their chairs are empty. It wasn't always like this. When I came to work at the Echo River Central Exchange, there were 12 of us. Loretta, Edna, Meg, Cara, Marie, Lois, Liz, Hester, Angie, Wilma, Connie. I was number 12. Connie and I were hired on the same day, but she showed up early. Marie finished college, and Hester was fired for snapping at a rude caller, but he had it coming, and I hear she did just fine on her own. So they hired Beryl, Jenna, and Sachiko, which brought us up to 13, and that was as many operators as we ever had here at one time. The power company came along, buying up all the lines, and one day they took the exchange as a throw-in like it was nothing. Nothing! And they started phasing us out. Edna, Meg, Kara, and Lois left one Friday evening and were asked not to come back on Monday morning. Beryl saw the writing on the wall and quickly found employment at a private PBX. They had Jana and Liz stop routing calls and write up some kind of best practices document instead. It was their final task as exchange employees. Some of the girls were reassigned to other divisions. Connie, I think, was checking residential meters. Sachiko and Wilma were moved into energy sales, cold calling businesses to see if they needed to upgrade their electricity plan. At least they were still on the phone. Then it was just Loretta, Angie, and me. We were swamped. The hours were hell, and it was hard on the throat. The voice with a smile became a croak. I was gargling warm salt water in the break room, sipping from a thermos full of hot honey broth stashed under my chair. Oh, I brought a lot of extended technique to the switchboard in those days. Oh! Sounded pretty good to me. He's got the voltage too high. He'll burn out the relay. So where was I? Extended switchboard technique. It was all about timing your breath. Some girls got lightheaded doing too many calls in a row with that upbeat dynamic inflection they made us use to keep everything intelligible. It was very physical. So after a few months, it was just me. A new automation strategy was announced and this place was rechristened. Consolidated Auxiliary Switch number 30. Are you lonely? Sure. This place feels different when it's empty, cold to the touch. And you know, it really is all about the touch here. Sound's a vibration, the touch you feel in your ear, so my voice is my touch. When we're talking, we're touching, even on the phone. That's an electric touch, an intimate little shock that makes your tiny hairs tremble. But that's not even what I mean when I say it's all about touch here. When the power company first tried automating this old exchange with fancy new transistor arrays, the switchboard caught fire. It was just too much, too fast. So they tried using some clunky old mechanical relays, but then the calls were getting mismatched and out of sync. It was a nightmare. Their technicians determined that the phone system down here had been designed ad hoc over decades around the specific tempo of its human operators. So, in short of replacing the whole thing, not to mention all the wiring, they'd have to work out the exact timing of every little human gesture that goes into routing a phone call. And that, officially, is my role here. I run the switchboard for the whole exchange. Once the work of 12, I'd like to remind you. They have some kind of machine here that tracks how long it takes me to do each little thing. The caller never hears my voice now. They dial, my little indicator lights switch on, and I make the connection. I love that. Chloe, those emails are so good. Do you miss talking to callers? You know? There's something that bothers me about the process. Besides the fact that I'm training my replacement, who isn't even human, Here's what I mean. How long do you think it should take to time my every move and recreate that timing in an automated switchboard? Rough estimate. At least a month. That's what I said, but this has been going on for over a year. And a very dark thought has started to nag at me. What if there is no cheap machine that's going to replace me? What if it's cheaper just to keep me here, filling in for the rhythm of the operators? What if I'm the cheap machine? You're not a machine. Nice of you to notice. I'm more in the Echo River Central Exchange, and I'll carry a torch for the voice with a smile, but at least I'm keeping some part of it human, right? Even if it's not the best part. Oh, the parcel. Right over there by the lamp is fine. Thanks for dropping that off. Take care. Think of me when you dial 0. It took my friend. She returned on the dinghy alone. She had a strong and sudden urge to shut the motor off and let the current take her, but she couldn't work out where that impulse came from, so she did her best to resist it. She met a family of 5 on a flat-bottom skiff. The boat was loaded to capacity with black plastic bags and a few larger pieces of furniture wrapped in a blue tarp. 3 paddled, the 2 adults and the older child. The 2 younger children slept. They'd been traveling all night, first by car and then for the last few hours by boat. Hungry and tired, they didn't plan to stop until they reached West Virginia, where a relative had offered to take them in. But the adults were happy to take a break from paddling in weary silence. They asked her about their journey. She said she was on the way to Sam and Ida's. They'd brought some food. The kids had picked the garden clean earlier in the day, so they'd been snacking on fresh bell peppers and tomatoes and some crackers, rationed carefully for the trip. They wished her well and paddled on toward West Virginia. She met a painter of shipwrecks. He never worked from photographs, so his paintings could be divided into 2 categories. There were the ones he painted from life, and the Echo River was a very good source for these because its currents were so unpredictable and the tunnels so dark. He rendered these in oil paint by lamplight, working for hours cross-legged on the porch of his houseboat/studio. Then there were the ones he painted from memory, mostly the memory of a single wreck he encountered as a much younger man, picking up litter where the coastal highway cleaves to the rocky beaches of Northern California. These were done in watercolor. He preferred to work on them in the morning in a room he rented near the airport in Louisville. He had some postcard sketches in charcoal, too, of the Iron Pariah. It wasn't a wreck exactly, but it felt right. He tried to scribble one down every time he encountered it, though it was just so unpredictable and he was so focused on details, he usually just ended up with a handful of inscrutable marks. He said they took turns. The water was cold, and the floating bicycle, while technically marvelous, wasn't quite buoyant enough for the both of them. Swimming is hard work, the hardest work that dog had ever done, he expected. They'd been traveling this way for most of the night, struggling through the icy water, stopping to recover when they could find a rock large enough to start a small campfire. He had his belongings stuffed into a weathered guitar case at the end of a thin rope. It floated pretty well, so he only had to keep an eye on it and occasionally free it from a rock or some driftwood it was caught on. She invited him to ride a ways on the dinghy. He appreciated the offer, but they weren't in a hurry. She gave in, shut off the motor, and floated for a while. Then she knew what she'd been craving, a moment of silence. Wow. See what I mean, Chloe? This game is just really cool. The vibes. Is this the place? See how many scenes we have left, see if I want to stop here or if I want to continue. How many? Sam sings wordlessly to himself. Hello? Hello out there, headed up or down? I'm just looking for the crew of the Mucky Mammoth. Yes, ma'am, they stop here every morning. I expect they're upstairs now, and I just got the coffee going. I could use a cup myself. It's cold down there. Well, head on upstairs and she'll take care of you. I'll be along in a minute. We're going up. Just in time. We've already finished eating, but we're about to place a to-go order for Clara. She's back on board getting ready for her show. Take a look at the menu. I'm sure there's something you'll like. Ida's a bit of a local celebrity for her cooking, I mean. Hey, Ezra was just asking about you. He's around the corner playing a video game. Maybe just go let him know you two are back, or where's the old man anyway? Ah, bad luck. You'll get it next time. Hey, got a quarter? He's almost got this. It's true. Sure, I have 1 quarter. Thank you. So, where's... He left. They took him. Damn, yeah, he really got himself in a situation there. Yeah, I'm gonna go sit down. Cool. The food's good here. I think everyone else is finishing up, but you could probably get something to go. Alright, Claw Maestro, let's give it another shot. So let's see what's on top of the pile here. There's a stuffed octopus, a plastic bag full of clamshells, a cowboy hat, and some big headphones. The octopus has a leg wrapped around the boombox underneath it. The shells are pretty clear, but I don't know if the claw can really grip the bag well. The cowboy hat is in the corner, so it's kind of tricky to tell if it's wedged in or not. Those headphones might be a good bet, but I can't see the cord. It could be wrapped around something. What are you going to try for? Shells are pretty clear. I want the cowboy hat. Sounds good. I hope we can get the claw back far enough to get a grip on it. Okay, when I put this quarter in, you'll have about 8 seconds to grab your prize. The hat is in the back right corner. Let me know if you need help lining it up. I've got a slightly different view of the field from up here. Ready? Here we go. Claw hovers in the front left corner. Up. Halfway along the left wall. Right. Right. Ah! Joystick up. It grabs the hat. We did it. Claw's only able to get hold of the brim. It's not strong enough grip to pull the hat out of the machine. Sorry, kid. That hat would have looked good on you, too. But I guess it's just too far back in that corner. Hey, listen. Sounds like that old man you were following around, I guess he had to leave. Is he coming back? Well, probably not. He's got himself on a trajectory, you know? Anyway, I don't know what kind of plans you have now, but if you need help figuring out your next move, you can always talk to me and Miss Junebug. I just want to make sure you know that. Would he want to go back to the museum? Could I keep going with you? Hey, I've got no objection. We have a pretty ad hoc thing going on, me and Junebug. I have to talk to her, but I bet you're welcome to tag along for a while if you're into it. Hey, maybe we still have time to poke around this place a little. There's some pretty wild stuff in here. Yeah, he's a robot. Junebug is also a robot. So. Hey, did you see this? They keep a table full of fake food over here. I've never known why. Actually, I think it might be real food, coated with shellac or something, preserved. Oh, and look, this tentacle-looking thing is half eaten. This is someone's meal if they didn't finish? I dare you to take a bite. You first. No. Yeah, I don't blame you. If Sam and Ida preserved this half-eaten meal, it must have been pretty important to them, right? Maybe it belonged to someone they care about, like a beloved uncle had a mid-meal stroke, so they kept it in his memory. Yeah, like these sunflower seeds my folks left behind. Oh, I'm sure your folks are fine, though. Are you worried about them? Yes, it's weird that they just disappeared. Yeah, listen, that's okay to be worried. You're doing fine. Poor buddy. He's just a kid. He doesn't understand stuff. Weird. Somehow I thought it was his truck and delivery and all. It was. That's what she's saying. But he gave it to her before they took him away. Oh, thanks for the lurk, Dazada. Good to see ya. Thank you. But you're gonna deliver it anyway? Why? He's my friend. He needs my help to finish his job. That's right. He's our friend too. Johnny and I will help you unload when we get there. To Johnny, lift with your legs, Cricket. Yes, ma'am. So how was everything? How was the sweet cave snail? Devastating. You're a killer, Ida. Well, I can't take all the credit. Sam came across a whole cave snail colony down there about a year back, and we've been leaving rock candy for them to gorge on since. We just started harvesting earlier this month. Yes, it's all about patience down here. Everything grows more slowly in the dark. There's a fish in Lake Leith that lives to 200 years, and its flavor profile only develops at about 75. I've got a pot of bones in there that's been stewing for at least a week. I don't even remember why I put them on. Come to think of it, I don't even remember what kind of bones they are. Oh, we need one for the road. Clara said she wanted, something primordial, she said. What does that mean? I'm back. Thank you for waiting. I feel like we're close to finishing this act, and I definitely want to make sure that we can get it done. All right. I think she meant something from very deep in the lake. Ah, could be. Hands Jen in the menu. Here, you pick. I'm no good at this. Ooh. Aged blind cavefish and small salad. Good choice. Your friend will love it. I'll have that right out, sweetie. Ezra leans over the table and carefully examines the preserved food and drink. He runs his finger along a grayish claw. The surface of the claw is completely smooth. And that was a small one. They're asymmetrical. Sorry, I startled you, sweetie. Why didn't they finish their meal? Well, they had more than twice as much food as they really needed, so even half was too much. This food's about 15 years old. It's true. Things were different then. Nobody came to eat here. We were fighting just to keep the lights on. My husband, Sam, was depressed. He couldn't catch anything, and that was part of the problem. Most of what we served was shipped in frozen or dried, and I just threw it in the fryer. We've both come a long way since then. Well, 2 young men came in for dinner. Seasoned divers, they said. Over 10,000 hours between them in Lake Leith alone. They'd been out all day salvaging parts from a riverboat wreck and had worked up a fierce hunger, they said. They ordered the whole menu without even looking. It was a short menu in those days. I set them right here and went back to the kitchen. Sam was at the next table doing a Sudoku and drinking malt liquor, his usual routine at the time. An hour later, I was cleaning up when Sam came bursting into the kitchen. Ida, these divers are still hungry. Bring them another course. I said, they already ordered the whole menu. Sam said, make something new. Keep making up dishes, whatever. Just keep bringing out food. So I did until the small hours of the morning. I made up so many new dishes that night, I could write a book. It was good, inspired. But I was working so hot and fast at the burning edge of inspiration, I didn't think or write any of it down. And I was so wrecked with exhaustion the next day I knew I couldn't remember what all I'd done in the kitchen. Sam thought we could take a photograph of the leftovers, but we couldn't get the lighting right, so we just shellacked the whole table. Now, when I need inspiration for the menu, I come and look here and think about all those ingenious dishes I threw together for those divers. Of course, they didn't pay their full bill. I heard one of them complaining to the other, let's just pay half and let them charge the other half to whatever demon in the kitchen kept making up food faster than we could ask for it. But it all worked out. Things have really turned around since then. This place is actually pretty popular now. The success in our expanded menu inspired Sam too. He started bringing back the most magnificent ingredients from his nightly dives. I'd better get to work. Stay right here, sweetie, and I'll bring you a treat on my way back out. Got like a squid. Well, buddy, I guess you're the catch of the day, the one and only. So what are you? You look like, well, some kind of squid, I guess. Kind of a moopy little guy, huh? Yeah, I can see it in your eyes. You smell like sort of buttery. Well, that should be just fine. Skin feels like sandpaper. Huh. Well, she'll figure something out. I think I'll call you Buttery Squid. Welcome to Sam and Ida's, the one and only Buttery Squid. I hope you enjoy your stay. I mean, not too much. Have you ever seen a creature like me before? You were pretty far down there. I wouldn't be surprised if I'm the first, except there were 2 divers who went before me long ago. Maybe that was before your time. How old are you, anyway? I wonder. They ate here once, back in the bad old days. 2 young guys. Could have been brothers, maybe. I was over in the corner with my coffee and crossword. Hadn't been able to catch a thing, so Ida just fried up something from frozen. Well, these guys were hungry enough to eat it and asked for more, and they did at least as much talking as eating. See, like I said, they were divers. And like I said, they might have been brothers. They had kind of a rivalry going between them or something. Ida was about to write up their check, but I slipped calmly and quietly into the kitchen for a minute and told her to just keep bringing out food. I figured they wouldn't notice, caught up in their boasting as they were, and I wanted to listen. They went back and forth for hours about all the deep and dangerous dives they'd been on. New tunnels they'd discovered, all the weird creatures they'd encountered at the weirdest depths of Lake Leith. It was like a dance, no, like a boxing match. Each story went deeper than the last, and I listened to every word of it, memorized every description of every tunnel and diving route they'd discovered. That's my map now, you see. For 15 years, I've been using routes those 2 young divers discussed right there at that table. Yeah, I could write a guidebook to the depths of this lake, but I don't dare. Someone would steal my good diving spots, and then where would we be? See, people come here from all over just to try our daily catch, because they know it's unique. Aren't you proud? Since I can't write any of it down, I just preserve that table where they had their meal so I can look at it to jog my memory, like they were eating pickled crab when they talked about that shipwreck full of salamanders. Pretty clever, huh? It's my own secret code. I'll be straight with you, Buttery Squid. There is one feature of this arrangement that I find unsettling. In fact, I lose a decent amount of sleep over it. I told you those boys were competing, right? One-upping each other, I mean. each getting wilder and more adventurous as they traded tales. Well, I navigate mostly in the dark down there, just going by touch and kind of mental picture I can construct from their detailed boasts. And every time I explore a new diving spot from those recollections, I have to weigh it all against the risk that I'm headed right into a dangerous falsehood. One of those men could have felt for a moment like he was losing some ground in their little duel, so he could have slipped a fake one in there. Maybe told a fib about some dive he went on and found a colony of blind shrimp living in a discarded refrigerator. And when I get down there, my diving bell cracks open on a sharp rock where he said that fridge would be, and that's the end of Sam and Ida's. To be honest, that possibility puts the fear of death in me every time I touch water. Hey Sam, good haul tonight. We'll see what she can make of it. Yeah, pretty good, I think. I hit some trouble down by the narrow tunnel. Some kind of fast-growing freshwater barnacles just about sealed it up. I picked away for half an hour before I gave up and went around the other way. But I got the catch of the day. That's the important part. That's what people travel for. What's the catch today? This here's a buttery squid. Mopey, sandpapery old squid. I don't know how she'll fix him, but that sandpapery quality ought to do something for, what do they call it? Mouthfeel? Will you stay for a drink? I've got a dark rum that goes well with coffee. I think we're about to leave, but thanks. Just passing through. Hey, aren't we all? Oh, she's got your food ready. Y'all enjoy your meal, alright?
This world is not my home. I'm just passing through. My treasures and my hopes are placed beyond the blue. Many friends and kin have gone on before, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore.
It sounds familiar, I don't know why.
Oh Lord, you know I have no friend like you. If heaven's not my home, oh Lord, what will I do? Angels beckon me to heaven's open door, and I can't feel at home in this world anymore. I have a loving mother up in glory land, and I
My nose ring got turned around.
to stop until I shake her hand. She's waiting.
So cool. See that? Just looks like a swirling mess of garbage, doesn't it? Well, that's what it is. I don't know why trash seems to collect right there of all the spots on the lake. It's always been that way. Everyone just navigates around it, like it was an island or something. I think I see some desks and chairs swirling around the edge there. Those all-in-one desks like they have in schools, if I remember right. It's been a few years since I saw the inside of one. Those must have washed down from somewhere. I've never known there to be a school on the lake. Oh, there's There was Gemini School of Beauty. It was run by sisters, Cassie and Paula, indistinguishable except for their haircuts, but I wouldn't think they'd have used desks like that. We used to stop there most every night to let someone off for a cheap haircut. Student stylists, you know, they spared many a sailor the pain of a botched do-it-yourself do. But I guess they got in deep to the power company. Those blow dryers and curling irons burn a lot of coal. It's a shame they had to close down. The haircuts are gone, but the hair keeps growing. Yeah, this cluttered place makes a decent local museum. It's as good a history as I could ever tell. We arrived at a small houseboat neighborhood that sometimes hosted concerts for the pleasure of its residents, where Clara was scheduled that night to perform. Junebug and Johnny watched the show from the dockyard with the others. Oh. I remember this. I told you. Yeah, you don't have to say it. Only because it's always true. She played at the flower shop. Cyrano opened. He was having trouble with his tape machine, so he just drummed out on the lap steel. He got really into it and he went out for like forever. Everyone was falling asleep. Not everyone. I remember the air was warm, perfumed. You were playing with some petals you found on the floor, and I was looking at the ceiling. I remember the ceiling was glass. During the week, that room was a greenhouse. I don't know where they put all the plants when they had bands in. Maybe outside if the weather was nice. It was nice that night. Warm. Smelled like spring. I remember the folding chairs. So uncomfortable, but I guess it was their only option. They had to pack everything up during the week so there'd be room to display the flowers. Actually, one season might be on Paramount Plus. Nice. The tape stuff sounds good. That kid's doing a good job. Yep, he's a natural-born tape player. I was talking to him back at Sam and Ida's. He seems a little lost. Another lost soul. Well, he's in good company. Maybe he could travel with us for a bit? I'm not sure that's a good idea. We were in the back. Passing messages in code. We used a code of our own design, inscrutable to observers, transmitted by taps on the wrist. We reviewed our travel plans. You wanted to drive through the night and try to get to a music festival in West Virginia in time to make some tips in the parking lot. I didn't think we'd earn gas money back, but I was willing to be persuaded. We abandoned the subject and the folding chairs and went for a little walk. If I sound hesitant or something, it's just when we met, we were nothing. Just these little gray shadows, and we grew and filled in, but we did all that together. Ezra, sure, he's just a kid, but he's already a person. Yeah, they're robots. I think. What'd that do to our system? Our chemistry? We stepped outside into the warm night air. We turned left into an alley. We wandered between some low houses and came out onto an empty street. Oops, you aren't hearing the music. I'm a fool. Hey, I got the masters for the new record back from Lazar. They're okay, but What? You listened to them without me? You were at the pet shop. I didn't think I could tear you free. Oh, okay. Anyway, there are a few spots where the strings distorted a little, and the whole thing was way too much reverb, but overall it sounds pretty good. The new drum machine fits right into the mix. Nice. The only question is how to do it live. I can't control the drum machine and sing and dance at the same time, and you've got your hands full on the guitar. stepped into a 24-hour convenience store. I remember the radio was playing some old Patsy Cline, right? Or was it Connie Smith? The clerk was reading one of those conspiracy / celebrity gossip / Bigfoot sighting newspapers. You bought a small bag of carrots for the horse. The horse ate the carrots slowly and glumly. They're beautiful animals, horses. Everyone seems to agree. I think it's because they always look so sad. We got back to the greenhouse just as Clara was tuning up. She relaxed her shoulders, took a deep breath, raised both hands into their precise positions, and the room started shaking. Clara hit a note that made the glass rattle in sympathy, a perfect 2 octaves lower. She looked like a sorceress, tearing down the building with an effortless wave and incredible focus, coaxing the empty air into some kind of moaning, rattling demon. That's the thing about the theremin, it's the only instrument you never touch. That's interesting. Theremins. You could see a wave of concern propagating through the greenhouse. People looking up at the trembling glass ceiling, looking at each other to see if anyone else was worried, trying to catch Clara's eye and discern if she was doing it on purpose or not, if she were really trying to bury us all in glass. They are, Veritas, right? I shared earlier, my partner and I were in like a thrift store and walked in and saw a theremin in the glass case, like in the front, and we didn't buy it. And still to this day, we're like, oh, why didn't we buy it? It's such a cool thing to have in your possession. I know. I don't even remember how much it was. It was probably like $50, but we didn't have that at the time. So it's one of those things like, oh, dang, well. And then we never went back to check. We're fools. So how do you think we'll swing that, playing the drum machine live? We'll figure something out. Maybe glue it to the back of your guitar. Oh yeah, or swap the buttons out for foot pedals. Or put the drums on tape beforehand like Cyrano does. Oh yeah, I guess we have a lot of options. Life is full of possibilities, Cricket. Yes, ma'am. It was a tense 5 minutes. We, the audience, alternated between fearing for our lives and lamenting hers that could have given her the kind of emotional experience to play this devastating song. Then slowly, gently, Clara's hands came to rest. The theremin went quiet. The glass stopped rattling and the room relaxed, unharmed. Sadly, I also have to dash, but I hope your stream goes wonderfully. Thank you so much, Veritas. I appreciate you. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Yeah, hopefully see you around again. Thanks for hanging out. I met a photographer once, one in particular. She even took my portrait, and I can't imagine why. She said it would immortalize me. Oh, my alerts are not even... Thank you for the follow. Welcome. I'm going to put that over here. There we go. Now they'll come up. There we go. Perfect. Look all messed up. That was a metaphor, of course. She meant I'd never be forgotten. I don't think it does it again if you do. But thank you. It was Dale Cooper from Twin Peaks going. Yeah, have a good day. As she was disembarking, not far from here actually, the film fell out of her bag and was borne away by the current. I was working on deck at the time. She shot me a sad, apologetic glance, but I wasn't bothered. It's no shame to be forgotten. Our passengers, 2 lighter, disembarked at the mall stop by the silo. They couldn't seem to get that old truck started up again, but we managed to roll it off the barge with only a minor scrape or 2. At the last minute, Clara decided to travel with them for a while. Kate and I said goodbye to our friends, new and old, and the mucky mammoth rumbled down the echo. Scene 11. Silo of late reflections. These places are so cool. I'll say it again. I love it. The truck. Whoa. What's this place like? Dogwood Drive? It's in a small town or... I really don't know. I forgot the manifest the old man had in his truck here. Lisette's Antiques. Mail order delivery. No return address. Shipping address 5 Dogwood Drive. Packing list. And then it's just numbers. I guess the inventory numbers of the antiques he was supposed to be delivering. Anyway, I'm glad you're coming with us. Yes, I'm always eager to see more of the country, and I enjoy the company. I will have to find a bus or a train to get on to Nashville by evening. Well, they have buses everywhere, right? Or, hey, I could drive you to Nashville. Seems I have a truck now, only how are we going to get it up these stairs? That's quite a staircase. Is there another route? A tunnel or something? No way out but up. I guess we could wait for the mammoth to come back around and take us a little further down, but that won't be until late afternoon. Looks like we're making the rest of this trip on foot. I don't even know what's in there. What if it's too much to carry? Nah, we've been loading and unloading gear since the stars were young. We're our own roadies, right? We've got expertise. All right, Cricket. Let's get this delivery packed and tied into bundles. We're hiking it upstairs. What's in there? Antiques, I guess. Antiques. Yeah, antiques are... It's like junk, but people will pay for it. Oh. To Clara. Sorry, I guess you'll be taking the bus after all. It's okay. It will be an adventure. Tired? Don't worry, lady. We're almost there. Alright. Okay, good. Blue's still with us, the dog. I think that's her. Maybe that's the cat. Maybe that's Clara's cat. The dog might have stayed in that flooded train station. Morning. It's been pretty much... The game started at sundown. So it's been an entire night. This might be it. Maybe. Hello. Yep. End of Act 4. Wow. So much happened. I can't explain any of it. Wow. This game is so cool.